Hey everyone, welcome back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist with your friends here in the actual brick basement of Castle Mac. We're excited to have you tonight as we pick up right where we left off. But first, we've got something exciting planned for tonight and the next couple of nights. Raven, would you like to explain what we are about to do and what we will do at each break?
You'll be better at it.
Okay. Nothing on the hook there. Okay. We are going to be giving away some stickers. And if you want to see what that sticker looks like, hopefully those of you who have been watching this for a while will appreciate this. Oh! It is a vinyl blue boat sticker. Now,
Thanks, Blue Ruin Relics.
Yes, Blue Ruin Relics. These are fantastic. They're great quality. She did the art, right? Mm-hmm. She did the art and printing and everything, and they look absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, what we are going to do is we are going to ask some Castle Mac lore trivia, and the first correct answer in the chat will receive one of these, and we'll mail it to you. Now, you can't win it more than once, so for those of you who are encyclopedic about Mac lore, you can help one of your friends if you really want to. We wouldn't know the difference, but you can't answer again. So, our first question is, this was the NPC who painted the name Blue Boat on the side of the hull of the vessel formerly known as the Poet's Pen that our player characters stole in Episode 1. If you can accurately name that NPC, we will mail you this vinyl Blue Boat sticker. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat.
Just text your answer to Castle Mac 3347
867.
Standard data and messaging rates apply.
Nice. Okay. So, when last we found our heroes, they were ambushed, quite frankly.
Yeah.
The driver of their carriage, which is the carriage that belongs to King Raimi of the Asen barbarian tribes, was waylaid and attacked in a narrow little alley somewhere in the North Ward. In the ensuing fight, Nami managed to take the reins of the wagon and get them out of there before these agents, dressed as beggars, could assassinate the king or do any additional harm to the player characters. They made it out. The wagon was significantly damaged from fire, and we are going to pick up literally moments when our last episode ended as you all ride down another alley, many streets later, and Raimi asks you to pull the horse to a stop. Clearly feel like you have reached safety.
Sorry, I hit my mic.
No good. No good.
I started eating that cookie and then I got really self-conscious that everybody was like, I reached you.
Munching hard.
Would we have had a time to take a short rest on
No,
the...
not yet.
Okay,
Not yet,
fine.
but you can now, essentially. So, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and apply it. It's narratively
We're
happening
catching our
right
breath.
this moment, yes. As you are feeling like you've reached a point of safety, Nami has ridden you at least a mile away.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Woo. Woo.
Just kidding.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
How
spin
do
some hit dice.
What do I add to it again? I always forget.
Your con to each one. And by the way, you get to roll 1d6 because of Whistler's Song
That's
of Rest.
right.
Anytime you take a short rest, you get to add that anytime you spend at least one hit die.
Huh.
I get to add what?
Is that
1d6.
everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh.
You have to spend at least one hit die, but if you do, you get to add a d6. So,
Okay. So that solves that problem. What time of day is it right now?
It's nighttime, evening.
yeah. Well, you had luncheon, so it's still day.
Yeah.
It's like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's getting into the evening, but it's not dark by any means yet.
So we're probably not going to have a short rest. Cool.
This is your first short rest, so you would have one additional if it came up.
But I am at maximum power.
I'm extending the trivia challenge very quickly to our Discord. So if you're not a part of the Discord, you definitely should be. Name the NPC who painted Blue Boat on the side of
The Poet's Pen.
the Poet's Pin. Answer must be in Discord chat. All right, we're watching for a correct answer. Okay, here we go. Raimi stands, his fine clothes now torn, some dried blood. His, if you recall, he has a cape made of a tiger fur. He kind of stands up and looks at you all again and looks down, and then he looks back up and he's got a big grin. He's like, once again, they have tried to stop me. They know that this treaty is bad for them and good for Austin people. I am proud that I chose wisely yet again in my council, and I am proud to call the four of you friends. Thank you again for helping me. I feel that not falling to their blades is the greatest insult I can deliver to them. And successfully negotiating this treaty tomorrow would add salt to that injury.
You really mean that? You really mean that, my friends?
I do, Enid. Thank you. Yes.
Just find your best wish there.
I'll be looking at my torn, beautiful shirt and unbuttoning it. We are happy to have been of service, Your Majesty. Your kindness shall never go unnoticed by us, at least not in my heart.
I thank you for saying so. I hope you all can visit Chult sometime in the future, so that I may show you the same hospitality you have shown me here.
I would love that.
Now, we must make a decision. I am to attend Club Levantis tonight. There I am meant to meet with several of the socialites. I suspect it's to see what information they can gather upon me. I would be remiss if I did not assume there were to be another attempt on my life. Especially now they might be getting dangerous, and dangerous people are reckless. But I feel that I must. I ask you, what would be your counsel? Do you know these nightclubs?
Unfortunately, I've yet to be to one in Waterdeep. I've been to a few in Baldur's Gate, bit seedy. Not that I dislike that, but I don't think we're going there. I'm unsure, to be honest with you. Nightclubs can be a bit dark. Plenty of dark corners to do dark deeds.
That makes sense, much like the... Never mind. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, we have a decision to make. We could return to the Marmot, get changed, or, in a display of defiance, we could show up just like this. And he kind of smiles at the thought of walking into a club with a torn shirt. What advice would you give?
Well, if you're going to ask all of us, I think we wouldn't mind going as is. However, knowing Whistler over there, he probably wants to look his best.
Easy enough. I'll just take off the shirt. Keep the cape.
We do have time if you would choose otherwise. And by the way, we do have a winner. So, Forgotten VK, thank you. I caused some confusion. I said say it in the Discord chat, but I meant in the Twitch chat. Sorry about that. A couple of things going on. But yes, you are our winner. The correct answer is, who is Torville, the sailor, the drunken yet extremely competent sailor who painted the name Blue Boat on the side of the Poet's Pin. So you will be receiving one of these. Please hit me up on Discord or here. Either way, shoot me your address or somewhere you'd like me to send it, and we will get one over to you ASAP. Thank you and congratulations. We'll have some more trivia coming up before the breaks tonight, so stay tuned. He kind of looks at you and is like, I suspect that will pass wonderfully in one of your nightclubs.
I mean, already taken off and re-putting on my cape. Like, I should hope so.
Is that the look that we're supposed to be going for?
Mordecai blushes and covers his eyes.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
I mean, it's up to you. Mine method has always been, if you have it, flaunt it.
Is this Waterdavian speak for physical prowess on display?
I don't know about Waterdavian, but it's certainly mine.
It makes sense to me. As the birds of the jungles do.
Yes, exactly. Showing off vibrant colors and songs to attract something that you want desperately.
Perfect. Well, we should go then. Should we eat before we go to this nightclub?
Always.
That's a good idea.
With such conviction. Let us dine. I do not know this area. Mordecai, do you know this area well? He's like, oh, we could find any old tavern. Should suffice.
Where are we?
You're somewhere in the North Ward, which is a little bit more rundown. You're actually not far from Troll Skull. Not too far. A couple of blocks.
But there were no restaurants there.
Wasn't there that one where we got that dish that was, like, disappointing?
Oh, the eggs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a number of restaurants. It wouldn't be hard to find somewhere to poke into.
No. You know who loves hosting people? And is quite an excellent cook.
Embrick and Avi?
Better than the restaurant we went to last time. You'd get to meet two of the nicest people.
I do enjoy meeting the people of this fair city. Do you think they would mind terribly?
At the chance of meeting you, I don't know.
At meeting a king of your nobility.
He puffs out a little bit like, if you have it, flaunt it.
Oh, my king. I say it's a good idea. If we wouldn't be imposing, of course.
I could compensate them fairly.
I think that sounds like a lovely offer. I highly anticipate that they'll turn it down, but
I would love to see them again. They were the most friendly. They were some of my best friends I've ever met.
They were quite fond of Enid and her sweet purity. Plus, we can show you what will be our future habitation and tavern.
Oh, I would very much like to see that.
It's a bit run down right now, so please don't prejudge.
I understand it. Must start somewhere.
and on the bright side, we'll be out of sight. No one will have any idea where we're at. Safer for all of us.
This makes sense. If you don't think they would be looking for us there, perhaps we can grab a bite unmolested. Very well. I do not know the way. Nami, would you be so kind?
Absolutely.
And you kind of merge into the traffic of the carriages and horses and pedestrians walking around. And it isn't long, only...
So loud, bro.
Yeah, now that all the audio's evened out, people get the full timbre of your burps. So
We can't burp at each other in private anymore.
Burp into each other's mouths.
that makes the most sense.
When you don't want it to be heard.
And you don't want it to be heard, just baby bird.
Wow. This is baby bird, your burp. Nice. Weird, our follower count just went down by 100.
I'm just gonna reciprocate burp into each other's microphones.
Back and forth forever.
Baby burp.
Okay, so
Get
here we go. You pull the wagon into Troll Skull Alley. And it's busy. You see people going about. As you pass by Falas, you look up and you can see them working in the greenhouse. You see just a figure sort of tending to things. It's kind of difficult to make out, but you clearly look up.
Is it Fala?
Yeah.
Are they like looking out the window at all?
No, they're working.
Oh, like if I like waved, like they wouldn't see.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Okay.
You might, be able to throw a rock at them.
I just want them to
greenhouse.
notice me.
Notice me, senpai.
And yeah, I mean, you pull up to the forge. You can see that there's still kind of smoke billowing out the back of their forge, of Avi and Imbrick's forge.
Sorry.
No, you go first.
To the king, I want to ask, you said that there's a lot of birds in Cholt.
Indeed there are, yes.
Up there in that greenhouse, there lives Fala, and they have the most beautiful bird.
More beautiful even, you think, than many of the birds that I get to witness on the daily, none of which have come anywhere near their beauty here, I must say.
Absolutely. Much more beautiful. And it has the most beautiful song.
I've seen tropical birds of Cholt in the cities of Harm, and even my home. They are wonderful, but it is the addition of the song.
Do you think we could visit momentarily then, if it is as beautiful as you say?
I think that Fala would want to meet a king.
I think Follow wants to meet no one.
I think Fala enjoys her privacy.
Do you think that we could make it worth Fala's time?
Potentially.
Or potentially doubtful as well. Follow
Maybe.
seems to only want what Follow wants and has no
Maybe.
needs.
If you could look at the bird and hear its song, you might be able to tell Fala if you knew where you could find a friend for it. It's very lonely.
I would leave the decision in your hands. You clearly know this, Fala, and I do not. And by the way, Shanologic with 2 divine rerolls. Thank you, Shano.
Thanks, Shen.
Thank you, my dear.
1 for Cole, 1 for Flint.
I think about the bird sometimes, and it just makes me so sad that she's just singing that song to no one.
How about this?
Everyone needs a friend, and you might know where we could get one.
I have not heard of a bird like this, but I would be willing to take a look.
What if the 5 of you went, checked out Follow, checked out the bird, I went and cleared things over, made sure they had enough food for everyone, let them know that you're coming, always polite to give a little bit of notice, and y'all meet us over there.
Very well.
However, there is that thing where I'm not supposed to go around
Why
alone.
doesn't Hydarian go with you?
That's true. Don't want to get stabbed in the dark again.
That is right.
We can defend you, Captain.
Hopefully. Unless we both get stabbed in the dark.
This is not funny. But if you are as safe here as you believe, this seems like a good plan. We will not be far if I read the geography correct.
Okay, well, let's go.
I'll knock.
All right, we'll start with you two. Raimi comes with you, and Mordecai's like, my lord, I'll stay with the wagon. He's like, oh, yes, thank you, Mordecai.
You want to stay alone?
It's like, oh, I'm not concerned. And you turn and he lays down. Lays down so he can't be seen over the sides.
The most stealthy.
All right, you all knock on the door of Coralon's crown. Takes a second, and then you hear creaking. Coming down. It's a townhouse. Takes a while to get down. King says, oh God, I just hit my mic, sorry. I tried to brush my shirt.
I don't realize how much my hands come close
yeah.
to this.
Clutching your pearls?
Yep.
Sorry about that, everybody. That was probably really loud. We're getting used to this. This is brand new. Hope it sounds good. The king kind of brushes himself off and assumes a regal-looking position, but trying to get where his head should be. The door opens. Fala sees you all. She's like, oh, hello. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Fala.
Can I help you?
I've brought a friend with me today. This is King Raimi. He comes from Cholt. Do you know Cholt?
They look at you and slowly look at Raimi and back. You are friends with the king.
Oh, yes, of course. Whistler's a king, too. A prince. I'm sorry.
Prince.
Anyways, Fala. In Cholt, they have many birds, and I was wondering if maybe King Raimi could look at your bird and hear her beautiful song, and maybe he would know where we could find a friend.
King Raimi has also does not want to impose, so is willing to potentially make it worth your while monetarily, as we have suggested that you do run a business and we would not want to impose on your personal time.
They wrinkle their nose a little at that, clearly that was...
Poor taste.
didn't sit with Fala. Fala turns back, looks at the king. I've never met a king before. I'm not sure to what degree I should... Forgive me. Come in, please. King Raimi, I am Fala. They bow, look at you a little, like, seeing if they're doing the right things, but clearly possesses a lot of poise, like, kind of trying to read the situation, but no beads of sweat are appearing or anything.
I think Whistler, having enough insight, realizing that he's offended, will be like, I wouldn't want to crowd. Enid, I think you can escort the king up there. I shall wait out here. Thank you for your forbearance, and he will bounce.
Forgive me, but how is progress coming on the inn? The tavern. Is it a tavern or an inn? Are you going to rent out rooms, or...?
Should just be a tavern. Progress is being made, for sure. Hopefully we'll be opening within a few weeks, if things go well.
I have seen that dwarf. She seems to be very capable.
Quite.
The most.
She scares me a little.
Her voice certainly carries. I heard her berating a contractor the other day, but looks like they got the job done. King Raimi, forgive me, please. Come in. Welcome. This is Coralon's crown. I've built a greenhouse atop this place. After you, I think. Maybe I should go first. They kind of step in front of Raimi, not awkwardly, again, with a lot of poise and, like, very graceful movements. And they lead you up, just like you did before, to that hatch, basically. And they open it up. And I mean, as they do, you can just feel almost like it's a sunny day in here. I mean, it's the heat from the greenhouse, but it even feels extra magical. Like, you even close your eyes for a second and feel like you're, like, in a field and the sun is shining. You know, the smell of flowers and plants blooming. And Raimi comes up after Fala, and he looks around and he's like, this is spectacular. This is wonderful. This is... Well, some of these are Chultan. I recognize some of these. This orchid, yes. My mother had a garden of these when I grew up as a boy. And Fala's like, is that so? Well, you are a king, and I believe a king deserves a gift. And Fala goes over and gets a small shovel and a pot and pulls the orchid out. And I mean, Raimi looks at Fala just like, thank you. This means a lot to me. I appreciate that very much. And Fala bows again. And they kind of look at you again, not really for assurance, just trying to read the situation. You can tell that they're taking in all the information very quickly, and there's a lot of intelligence there, right?
I think Enid's not dumb to that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, I suppose you'd like to see the bird.
What was the bird's name again?
Oh, I haven't named it, as a matter of fact. It's not mine to name. If it has a name, it was given to it by the wind or by the plants.
That is lovely. I should tell that to Whistler. He loves names and things about names.
Names have power, you know.
That's what he says.
Of course. Well, and they walk over to the perch and pull the bird down. I mean, it's just these lovely feathers. I don't even know how to describe something more beautiful than a tropical bird, but the feathers almost shimmer, and the way the light catches them, they change. Like, they're almost made of that, like
iridescent.
Yes, like very iridescent. I think the feathers sort of sway. It's almost like the feathers around the head kind of sway a little bit in a breeze that's not there. Like they're almost just like gossamer hanging off the side. And Fala holds the bird and is like, yes, I'm told it's an Omnish Scoratat. I've never seen another example in my travels. But every night at sundown rather, it sings an extremely mournful song that never fails to trigger nostalgia, frankly. Makes you think of your youth.
I have not stopped thinking of that song since I heard it. It just breaks my heart.
It's both beautiful and haunting, and well, you're not likely to forget it. If you return at sunset, I would certainly let you hear it. But it is a difficult memory to pass on. Have you seen a bird such as this? And he looks at it, he's like, I have seen many beautiful birds, and I have heard many beautiful songs. but never one as beautiful as this, nor heard any songs as lonesome as you describe. I would like to return if it fits into our schedule, if it wouldn't be a bother for you. Thank you for showing me that, Fala. And they bow and smile. Well, will there be anything else?
Fala, I love your greenhouse so much.
Thank you, Enid.
It makes me think of everything I love about home, but none of the things that I don't love about home.
I take your point. It's almost like this is the best that nature has to offer.
That is
Right
right.
here.
Thank you for inviting us back in.
You're welcome. And Enid, if you'd like, you can come back anytime. And they walk over and put
The
the
ice
bird
melts
down.
a little.
I think Enid's just like, play it cool.
They put the bird down, and then they turn to you and like, but I will put you to work.
Anything. I will learn all that I can learn about gardening and dirt and soils. Anything you want, Fala.
I will teach. King Raimi, it was truly a pleasure. Thank you. I don't know your mission, nor do I need to, but I wish you the best of luck and pleasant journey on your return home. After you, and they motion for you to lead the way, Enid. And Raimi on the way out is just like, this is a beautiful space. It must have taken many years to perfect. I imagine it's one of a kind. Fala says, indeed it is. Greenhouses are not uncommon, but in a city such as this, well, as far as I know, I'm the only one. And as you might suspect, many of the herbs I grow there are very difficult to find. And so, my clientele tend to be spellcasters, potion makers, that sort. They will pay a pretty penny for something that's difficult to find. It's cheaper than sending adventurers somewhere, you know. And that is a very wise move and a smart business decision. I like this. Thank you for showing me this. I truly appreciate it. And he looks like he's going to say more and then holds his tongue. Like he was going to offer something. Paula says, thank you both again. Have a pleasant evening. And they're already kind of pushing the door shut. All right. Meanwhile, you guys...
Avi and who?
Imbric. And Avi is the water genasi, and Imbric is the fire genasi. And you get there, and you bang on the door, and you can hear in the background, clang, clang, clang. Like you just hear the sounds, and you don't get a response at first. You bang again, and finally you're like, hold on, hold on. Hear some shuffling, and you hear some clanging, and the clanging stops, and a few seconds later, Imbric opens the door, and he's got this big, like, black leather smock, and it's covered in these ember stains, right, where, I guess, like, flying embers, like, burned into it. He's got nothing on beneath that. He's glistening in sweat. He's got a, 3 or 4 day beard going on. He's like, oh! And who else? It's the two of you, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, Nami, Hydarion, what can I do for you? How goes the progress? Please, come in. Don't mind me. I stink a bit, but come in, please. You're always welcome.
I don't mind the smell at all.
He's like, oh, good. Neither does Avi. What can I do for you?
Well,
You see,
we've got a strange proposition for you.
I'm always open to strange propositions.
Lovely.
have found ourselves in the company of a Chilton king.
I'm sorry, you did say a Chilton king. Avi, dear.
Yeah.
Avi. It's like, what? Can you come here? Why?
It's Nami.
It's Nami. Oh.
In the dirt.
And you hear some more clanging. Moments later, Avi comes up, dressed similarly. They've clearly been working in the forge just all day.
I'll give him a big hug like a family.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's like, wow, Nami! Comes over and kind of picks you up a little bit. You kind of slide off of him. He's like, well, what do I owe the pleasure? Are you close to opening yet? We've seen the dwarf woman, haven't we? She screamed at us one time, but no bother. We understand.
We're certainly getting closer to that point, and part of that is, we're traveling with a king right now.
Imbric looks at him, and he's kind of like, a king, you said?
Yeah, and see, I was wondering if you might be able to help us out a little.
How can we help?
He's had 2 murder attempts on him so far today, And we were wondering if we could, maybe if you'd like to host us for a meal, seeing as we need to stay out of the public eye right now.
Host a king, and they look at each other, and you can see that Imbric is like, and Avi's like, two very different approaches to it. Imbric's like,
I certainly don't want to impose at all. It's just that when he suggested that, he's barely eaten anywhere here, and I couldn't think of anywhere where I've had a better meal.
See, we are trying to stay out of the public eye, and also try to show him some places that maybe make Waterdeep worth visiting. And I can think of no place that, well, feels more like a home.
Avi is like, Imbric's like, I don't think we even have enough food. Avi's like, we'll make it work. It's like,
like I said, I absolutely don't want to impose.
Avi's like, yes. Tell him yes. You go get cleaned up. I'll get started cooking. We'll take turns. Give us just 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we'll be ready to start. Bring whatever ingredients you can find. We'll make something happen.
All right. Is there like a shop nearby for ingredients?
There is a shop like a block away, like kind of a general goods store. Like there's a market, I think, about about a block away. Not within the alley itself, but certainly within walking distance.
With like vegetables and eggs or something.
Yeah, all the staples, some bread and whatnot.
We're having omelets.
Avi's like, I can't wait. And Brent's like, okay. Untying the smock as he walks away.
With his fiery butt because he's naked.
Yeah, cinders coming off his ass. He's wearing pants. Okay.
You said nothing, and we were definitely liking it.
I was getting ready.
I meant no shirt.
Well, you need to be more specific with us.
Yeah, y'all are like...
Yeah, it makes sense, because you probably don't want to like have all that stuff and have everything out.
Yeah, right.
Like,
you don't want to accidentally...
No, if you're a fire genasi, you're like, flame.
Ouch.
Felt kind of good, to be honest with you.
He just wears the apron so people don't see him just hammering nude.
It's also like one of those fire starter things, that you use.
Yeah, yes.
You guys know. Hey, thanks for the raid. You joined right at the right time.
Oh my god! Yeah, all right. Anyway, moving on.
All right, yeah. Avi is just like, okay, go.
Imbric, you
he's
sure
so
we're not
happy.
imposing?
Imbric's like, nope, not at all. Disappears back in the room. He's like, no. Avi is like, not at all. You're not imposing at all.
He's gonna hate me forever.
Oh, don't worry. He'll get over it quickly. You said he's a king.
Yeah, he's the king of Cholt.
King of Cholt. All right. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Bring whatever you can. We have very little here right now, but we'll make do. We'll figure something out.
We'll get
We can
something
run to
good,
the
I'm
markets
sure.
very quickly.
It's like, all right, shoo.
Maybe also you all might want to put on clothes.
Of course.
Just a reminder.
Of course. We might be blacksmiths, but we know a thing or two about entertaining, and clothes are always optional, but in this case, certainly not. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hi, Darion. Take good care of her.
That's right.
We'll see you.
We're gonna get stabbed because he said take good care of her.
Most likely.
And off he disappears. And for narrative's sake, the two of you are leaving your respective buildings at just the right time, seeing each other across the alley.
It is so perfect.
Awkward.
Perfect.
I've been in the cart with...
He's
you were
Sitting next to
Mordecai is like, in fact, we'll have a brief conversation with Mordecai. You come in and
I'll have like a secret lay down in the wagon.
Oh, man, I would come up and be like, are you inviting or just taking a nap?
he's like, I'm sorry. So, I was just, and he kind of awkwardly sits up. I was just keeping my head down, just in case. And the wagon marked, and,
Mordecai was thinking, tonight, yourself, me, and the king should figure out exactly what we want to do. Now, I'm sure you've guessed by this point. I'm fastidious on a contract, but you know the legalese of Waterdeep. That's invaluable. But I can also speak, and the king speak for himself. But if the three of us got together... Oh, wait, I'm sorry, you have some on your cheek. And I'll just... I'm like, yeah, that's better. What a handsome face. And then be like, so the three of us should sit down and really hammer out what the king's willing to give up, what the lines are, what he's not, and then again.
Of course. I've already drawn up several drafts that you could take a look at. I know what's most important to the king, and most important to him is not giving the mercenaries free reign. Right now they've had free reign of his land. At the very least, he'd like to see them contained to small areas and make sure that the people that live there are paid their fair recompense. Of course, best case scenario, they would leave entirely, but he knows that that's probably not going to happen. So ultimately, if he were to contain them and they were paid fairly for it's their resources within his sovereign borders. It's I can't even believe that it's a conversation.
We're going to go in hard and tell them that they need to leave immediately, as a matter of sovereign right. Then we can walk it back from there.
Yes, that makes sense. In negotiation, that is, you start. Yes. No, I appreciate that. I'm certainly glad you're here, and I'm glad you're helping.
Of course. Will you go to Cholt after this? Will you stick around?
Oh, I think I will. I think I will go to Cholt. It's marvelous, and this city is stuffy. Sometimes it feels hard to breathe. No, I love it. I love Cholt. Have you been?
No.
Oh. It's can be oppressive in its own way. The heat is the heat is miserable, but the people very different. They value my education.
I've met a number of Choltons, and the heat just doesn't really bother me, I'm afraid.
You are from, the Hells.
Fancy seeing you all here.
He's like, oh!
Yes, I'm leaning over.
Yeah, he's kind of like half sitting up, and you're leaning over, leaning into him. Got one hand past him on the wagon, on the wall of the wagon.
Maybe.
It's like Irene all over again.
But
Mad at
so
Mordecai. Nami.
Well, we've got to go get some ingredients, but they've invited us in. They need about 10 minutes. Would y'all accompany us to the market?
Okay. Yes, I don't see why not.
For ease, I am there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed.
You and the king show up at the same time.
I assumed we'd all just walk that way.
Narratively, just all threads.
Wagon.
Whistler.
Us.
Follows Avi and Imbrix, the wagon.
D&D.
Right there in the middle, D&D. The king is like, oh, that is wonderful. I hope we weren't imposing too much.
Not at all. They
love to have people over. They loved to have us over.
Yeah.
Good.
Wholeheartedly agreed.
Wonderful.
Avi's heart is probably about to pound out of his chest right now. He's so excited to meet you.
Oh, well, good. I hope I will ease his nerves. Allow me to help. You said there's a market nearby.
Would you like to join us?
I'll help monetarily. And he opens up a little chest that's kind of in the corner, and opens it up and pulls out a bag of gold. He's like, here you are. I don't know. About 100 gold in there.
Yep, that should just about do it.
Ensure that you get a nice wine, something they might like. You would know their tastes better. Mordecai and I will stay here, go back over the initial drafts of the proposal, and then we will meet back here when you're ready.
If that's the case, Whistler, would you mind staying with them, just in case?
Of course I can.
Wonderful. Yes. And Mordecai's like, yes, I think Whistler could, he could look over the language as well. I think he would be a valuable asset there.
Are we about to walk back up on a swamp bonk?
Triple swamp bonk.
Before we walk off, I would be like, look at the flower that Fala gave him. Look at it.
Oh yeah, he's got a nice orchid that's sort of, I think it's like kind of a deep purple and like veins of pink coming around the edge, and then it almost goes to silver at the very edges. Just a beautiful orchid.
I'll be like, oh, orchids. My stepmother loved them. They're wonderful.
Like, oh, yes, my mother used to plant these. She has quite a collection. They have quite a collection up there. I've never seen something so concentrated, I guess. So many species, all in that small space.
I love Fala's greenhouse. I chose my room at Trollskull so I could look at it.
Truly
Bit
magical.
of a voyeur.
Well, it wouldn't be made of glass if they weren't expecting people to look.
That is right.
I think it's also for the sunlight.
Of course. Puts it down. Well, should we look at those documents?
We should be getting the ingredients.
We can certainly get as much as we'll need for the night and quality ingredients at that.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. I think we're gonna skip ahead. I think you all go and you
You're
buy.
not going to make us role play out like shopping.
We could.
grocery
It could be
shopping.
fun, but we're not gonna role
I'm
play
gonna get
shopping.
some really nice ingredients for Avi to cook
Yeah.
with.
You guys spend some money.
I'll
get
pick out
some-
like an elven wine. That's
Okay.
like
even still, you guys only spend 25 gold pieces, and you're hard pressed to spend that. Like,
Yeah.
hey, can we get some eggs? And they're like, yeah, we got some eggs. Like, no, basilisk eggs. I'm like, oh, well, okay. you get the good stuff, but it's still you really only push it to 25 gold pieces, and you're being ostentatious at that point. Like, we'll take that lettuce, and like, yeah, sure. You're like, we'll give you $3 extra to take that nicer one. Like, well, you could have just whatever.
yeah.
So.
Is that a handkerchief? How much for the handkerchief?
And you guys do start going over the document. I am going to give you just a brief bit of information about the document very quickly.
Document.
Essentially, and we're not going to worry too hard
I
about
gotcha.
the legalese. What he really wants is for prospectors to not be granted any land or access to Austin territory, and they must immediately withdraw and permanently end all hostilities.
No land grant Austin territory. Leave and cease.
Right. Cease all hostilities.
All
Because
hostilities.
there's essentially mercenary companies there waging war.
All right, and Whistler will advise again that they start with the hardest option.
Right, and then work their way
Yeah.
back. And the king, of course, agrees with you, knowing he's not going to get that. And sadly, I think he adds that, like, I am fighting a losing battle. Like, he just talks about how sovereign, the sovereignty of his borders is probably already gone to him. So it's finding where they're able to meet.
I think Whistler, I don't need to role play it out, would try to lift him back up in explaining more of the history of his family's small plot of keeping their sovereignty with the ability to negotiate between Am and Tethir when it's like that's a place of pure commerce. It's like it's never happened, but we managed to do it.
And I think he understands that money is going to talk. And so as long as the money is flowing and that they're able to make profit off the resources, he knows that, So anyways, you all return back about 15 minutes later, show up to their forge. All of you in tow. The king has asked if he can have the wine. He's like, may I please deliver the wine?
Absolutely. And here's the rest of your gold.
He's like, oh, well, thank you.
That's
you can
very
keep the
generous.
rest.
Are you
Of course,
sure?
please. It's the least I can do at this point. And he's holding the wine, still in his torn Mandarin collar, like almost military jacket. And you all knock, and the door opens, and as it does, there's candles lit. Like, the scene is set. They're looking absolutely spectacular. Like, little flames coming out of Imbrick's head. The water is almost like parting a certain way on Avi's head. And Avi's like, oh, hello. So the king is like, well, please, come in. You must be, what was his name again?
Allow me to introduce, picking up, His Majesty King Raimi.
And King Raimi is like, thank you, Whistler. Please, you may just call me Raimi for this. We are in your abode, after all. And Avi's like, yes, Raimi, of course, yes, Raimi. I am Avi, and this is my husband, Imbrick. And Imbrick's like, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. He bows deeply. He's like, please, come in. Did you get the ingredients?
I think Hydarian has.
Yeah, Darian's like, yeah, I got you. He's like, oh, wonderful, please. And Imbrick takes it and is like, hi, Darian, give me a hand. Are you good at cooking?
I can be, yes, maybe.
Is he good at cooking?
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Better
Go
than
with
me.
me. And you all go in the back, or in the kitchen, and he starts pulling out ingredients, and he's like, well, what are we going to do with these? Why don't you go ahead and make me, what you tell me, what role do you think would make the most sense for cooking? Survival, maybe, but I would let something else if you think about it.
Performance.
Intimidate those onions into a
You better
souffle.
cook. No,
I mean, even sleight of hand though on like making sure you know the right
No.
ingredients.
I think it would be survival. I think, especially going straight from ingredients, he kind of knows.
Roll. I'm going to
maybe-
give you advantage because Imbrick is helping guide you. Imbric is sort of being the director.
Who wants to roll?
Oh, and I'll go ahead and
Oh, yeah.
those.
All right, so we've got an 18 over
Okay,
there.
all right.
And you know what? Let's just see.
Let's just see if you can beat the
see what we
18.
can do. Yeah.
Imbric pulls out the ingredients. He's like, what are we going to do? And you're like, You like weigh it up. You're like, oh, I got this. You're making a dish that none of you have ever had before. In fact, it's a strange combination of the eggs and the meat, the rice noodles you got, and the way they're cooked, and the different vegetables, and how you pan fry them a little
You
bit.
made pad thai.
He makes pad thai, and it's absolutely. You're like, do you have turmeric or whatever? He's like, yeah, you're like, just a pinch. And Imbric sort of like Imbric kind of takes a back seat, and he's like, have you? Do you cook this on your ship? When did you?
It is.
Also, do you even cook underwater?
We do. We use the heat vents that are.
The thermal vents, yes, of course. Interesting.
It is not a skill sailors quite take to very well, nor do we keep the supplies on ships.
Where did you learn this?
I learned this back home. My father actually was very, very interested in the culinary arts.
In the sea, though.
Yes, it is how.
How would you apply a spice? It would just.
You
A
see,
pinch of it would. What do they call it? Dissolve. It would dissolve. I think it would dissolve.
we don't pinch and drop, so to say. You take it in one's hand, and you have to caress.
Give it a rub.
Yes.
You give it a rub. Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense. I am impressed. And in fact, you're like, give me a pot of water. Like, you have a pot, you submerge some of it and work with it underwater. He's like, I'll apply a little heat. He's got his little heat fingers under the pans. His little flame from the heat fingers. And in fact, yeah, you make an absolutely, like, you all are talking, and we'll cut to that with Avi and the king. And I mean, you guys are like, oh my God. And you look back and you can see Imbric just like, can I... And Hydarian just taking over, like, no, if you could chop those, yep. Like, he's just laying stuff out, and even Avi's like, has he been training?
To cook?
Yes. It smells absolutely wonderful. This is nothing Imbric's ever made, and he's a great cook.
I'd say, Hydarian's quite a jack of all trades, I believe they say.
Oh, is he?
It's quite a catch. Get it? A catch?
King Raymond's like, as from the sea. Yeah, obviously. Indeed. Is he going to be making dishes at the tavern?
I think he might have a call-in.
If it tastes half as good as it smells, I'll certainly be frequenting. So, Raimi, how long did it take you to get here from Chult? It's like, my ship was swift. It took me 14 days. The seas were mostly calm. It was a wonderful journey, if I'm being honest with you, and I know most people hate to travel such paths, but I found it quite pleasant. Just me and the sea and the sky, and the ability to think. People coming at me every minute of the day.
That's the life. I miss it. I've been on land for so long. That's been my whole life.
Thank you, Chris. Wikiva. Appreciate that.
Wikiva.
He's just
Wikiva.
excited about getting into the legalese of the contracts.
Yeah, he would.
I do understand the calling. I could see myself being a sailor.
It's the most serene. Just, as you said, it's just the most peaceful I've ever felt.
Indeed, it is the stars at night while on the sea. Even where I am from, the lights from around, the torches, the bonfires.
Sound of water lapping against the boat.
I would hate it.
It's like
would.
you're being cradled.
I would hate it.
Like you're in your mother's arms and
Just
she's just
alone all the time?
cradling you.
Just who would you be
Sleep.
friends with?
Well,
There's no one to talk to.
The other sailors, presumably.
But you just said that you were alone.
Well, I was alone for my advisors, mostly.
Some people talk to themselves.
Not me.
And what about you, Whistler? Have you been on the sea?
Only briefly, and frankly just around the harbor of My father took me out, chartered a boat.
How wonderful.
I found it quite nice. It was my father and I for my 14th birthday. He took me out after seeing It was beautiful. He was a thoughtful man like that.
And your father has passed.
Yes, he has indeed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I. Thank you.
What about you, Enid? What about your family? What are they like?
Well, they're back in the Feywild. They're nice people.
What do they do? Are there careers in the Feywild? I'm totally unfamiliar, I'm ashamed to admit.
There are. Not such as Waterdeep. I mean, you have taverns there, of course.
Interesting. What is a Feywild tavern like?
Yes, tell us.
Magical.
As I would assume.
Most everything in the Fey is magical.
I would like to visit someday.
I would love to take you there.
I'm not sure I'll get that chance anytime soon, but I would take you up on that sometime in the future, if possible.
The Feywild is magical and beautiful, but it just felt small to me. There's so much more.
I know the feeling. I do. Coming here and seeing how much larger these other places are than my kingdom. But I love it all the same.
Can you imagine all the places you could go? All the planes, all the people you could see? The different kinds of people? The animals? The flowers? Just think.
I do sometimes find myself beset by such wanderlust, but even stronger is for me.
Wanderlust. That's a good word.
Thank you. The strong draw of responsibility, knowing that my decisions affect and empower my people, knowing that they look to me for guidance and that they trust in me. That to me is, well, it's a wonderful feeling.
I would like to give a toast to the very best of kings.
You humble me. Avia's like, of course. Imbric, Hydarion, we're toasting. And you're like, hold on. Like, spin the knife. You're like, got it. Raise your glass. You all drink some of the fine elvish wine that Enid picked up. You do still have that same slight twinge of nostalgia with every sip you take, thinking about who you once were, but it's not quite as pronounced as it was previously because you're in such good company. The rest of the meal flows quite happily. I think Avi and Imbric, they're excellent entertainers, and once the nerves of being around a king wear off, they are at 100%. Enid, as usual, they love you. They ask you to tell a lot of stories. You get to tell stories about sailing. The king is laughing. Everyone has a great time. Even Mordecai occasionally jumps in with some academic story that sometimes requires like way too much explanation. He's like, no, but what you don't understand is you see there's competing researchers, right? They're from the different schools, and the king will be like, but they're still pretty good. And you guys are there for about 2 hours. As the meal passes. It gets to be about 6:15, 6:30. Looks like the sun might be going down soon. And Avi and Imbric are kind of leaning back, stuff. They've fed you, dessert and everything that they kind of whipped together. Hydarion's meal was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you all are all like, you cooked this? My dude who was dead in a sewer? Like 3 days ago, you were dead in a sewer. Today, you cooked this? It's called Hydarian Tide.
Pad
Tide.
Hydarian Tide Pod. The Hydarian Tide Pod.
Oh my god. You're just saying syllables.
Tide Pad Challenge.
Hi, Tide Pod to Pine to my Hydarian.
Pad to pad.
Patent printing.
Anyways.
I got so excited about the joke I could have made. I ruined it.
Yeah, you tried, but you were carrying too many things.
You Mordecai'd it.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, the meal is stunning. It's absolutely spectacular. And everyone says so. And Hydarian, you're glowing a little bit, I think, because frankly, I don't think you've actually really learned this. I think you were kind of bullshitting. I mean, a little bit. You used some techniques, but you were also kind of just guessing. You're like, I'm pretty sure humans like a little extra salt on their thing. Oh, they like kind of salt and sweet, right? Yeah, we'll throw some of that in. Like, you almost bullshit it, I think, right? Some basic knowledge.
Yeah, I think you'd have some basic knowledge, but definitely no training as to like...
Yeah.
outside of this is a fire, this is how you cook meat.
Right.
Nami's probably looking at you with like dollar signs in her eyes.
You're like, that was wonderful. Could you replicate it?
Can I get a recipe?
And so the meal passes. You say your farewells to Avi and Embrick, and on the way out, they're just like, again, King, it was just wonderful to meet you. Truly magical. I hope one day we can visit Chulton. He's like, of course. And should you visit, there will certainly be a reception in your honor. Please do me the favor of coming. And they're all just like, oh, thank you. Thank you all for bringing him. I'm curious to hear how you found yourself in the service of a king. We can talk about that later.
Just as we leave to both of them, I'll lean and be like, you're in the big leagues now, boys. Take a little tap on the cheek as we leave.
And they're sort of like, all right, well, pleasant evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Avi, Embrick, thank you. Thank you so much for hosting us.
They're like, oh, please, thank you. This was wonderful. This was delightful. We're happy to host you anytime. Please, come by anytime and bring your king friend back if you can.
I'll try.
Like, all right, goodbye, everyone. Good luck.
Good night.
Close the door behind them. And as it's getting dark, you look as you see old Groggy. She's coming out of the tavern. She's got a sack over her back, and she's covered in soot. Like, just black with soot. Like, her whole face opens her eyes. You see, like, the whites of her eyes, but just soot everywhere. She kind of wipes it, and you can see the, like, fingerprint marks on the soot. And she's like, oh, that? Ha-ha! Have you come to check on the progress? And she kind of throws it on the ground and stomps down, comes down, and when she does, soot is like out of her beard. She grabs the two beard braids and tugs on them kind of hard. Soot flies out. She's like, oh, have you come to check on the progress? Who's your friend? He looks like he could help us out. You could probably swing a hammer, couldn't you? He's like,
Groggy Brickbelly Brewer, I'd like you to meet His Majesty King of Chult, Rami.
she's sort of like, oh, His Majesty. Forgive me, I didn't know. Stand by what I said. Look like you can swing a hammer. I'm Groggy. As I said, you can call me Brickbelly or Groggy.
I'll be like, and Groggy is the best tavern master within all of Waterdeep, and maybe arguably the Sword Coast.
She grins wide, and again you see the whites of her eyes and the whites of her teeth, and everything else is just covered in soot. Like her hair, her beard, her clothing. And she's like, well, I wouldn't be the best brewer if I didn't know my way around the flu. Which, by the way, we can talk shop later if... I'll just tell you, the flu is quite a disaster. We're going to have to call somebody. I have to call upon him to come and get it cleaned out. I did what I could, but it's nasty in there. Looks like it hasn't been cleaned in maybe a couple decades, if I'm being honest with you. Fire hazard, if you start roasting, before you know it, the whole place could burn down. Surely you understand the tenets of a clean flue. The king's like, indeed, I suppose I do. She's like, anyways, as we discussed, we're running... Well, we can talk business later. It looks like you all have many things to tend to, so I suppose I should be getting on.
I'll be like, we are tending to business currently, in fact. He'll look at her.
She's like, tugs on the beard. I understand. All right. Have a pleasant evening with whatever. It was a pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. I'm gonna get my stuff. Walks back, kind of grabs the bag, starts walking towards you guys, and does the thing where she kind of doesn't want to do the second goodbye, and kind of veers just wide enough to not have to talk to you all again.
And you said the sun's going down?
The sun is going down.
So...
Well, sun's going down. What are we supposed to do now?
We, Fala promised that if we could come back at sundown, that we could go and hear the birds sing.
That's quite inviting from Paula.
Oh, indeed.
They said that?
They were very friendly.
They invited us back in?
They did, and I would like to hear it, if I'm being honest with you.
Me too.
A little bit of sugar can melt the iciest of hearts.
You have a way with words, my friend. Shall we then, Enid? Would you do the honors?
Of course. Oh.
And as you knock, the door opens. Fala's already there, and they're holding the bird. And they're like, You're just in time. Fala steps outside and holds the bird, and it looks around for a second.
Everyone take a drink.
Take a drink. The drinking game. Oh my gosh, Shannon again.
Holy moly.
Shannon, my dude. By the way, Shannon, your Hero Forge figure came in today, and it looks spectacular. I'll show you.
Shannon.
I'll grab it and let you take a look at it here in a second. Fala holds up the bird, and everyone kind of waits expectantly, and it takes a little longer, and Fala doesn't really start any small talk and doesn't look like they're interested in it at all. Like, they're kind of just looking down, but don't look uncomfortable at all in the silence. And then just as the sky starts to redden to the west, the bird Fala holds it up, and everyone kind of feels it in their chest a little bit. In fact, why don't everybody roll me a wisdom save?
Oh. Well, I got a twanky one. 18.
5.
The three of you, it's clearly sad. It tugs at your heartstrings, Enid. You're looking at the bird, seeing the sun down. You all glance over at Enid and you see one tear and then multiple tears just kind of start streaming down her face as she's trying to hold it together. You uncontrollably cry. Whether you sob or not is up to you, but your eyes, you lose control of them. Fala's just looking down. The bird sings a few more notes. And it just kind of, like it was nothing, stops. Follows. Such is the lament of my bird. King Rami is like, that was beautiful. Voice cracking a little bit. You look back at Mordecai, has his glasses off. You look over at Enid. Enid, what are you doing?
I'm just like sobbing.
Staring straight ahead.
Yeah.
Like
almost anime tear style, just like,
Yeah, basically.
I'll come up after I think there's been enough time to let the feeling sink in, and he'll very almost parentally rub the tears away. He won't say anything though.
I'm sad, but I'm also happy that Fala let us come.
Fala pulls the bird in and they scratch its head. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Turn around. The door slowly closes. Rami is like, well, I suppose it's time to go to this club.
Hey, that would seem like our next option. We would not want to hurt any feelings by not showing up.
Indeed. Anything else before we go?
I mean, I'm Mirror. Just
Tell me again how you plan to paint the outside of your inn. And as you all walk towards the wagon, mount back up, the sides of it scorched, still smelling of burnt wood, dried blood still on the floor, the horse worse for wear, a little bit singed, needs a little bit of care. We're going to go to break, but before we do, we're doing our second Castle Mac lore trivia question to win your very own
Trivia!
boat vinyl sticker. The first person to respond in the Twitch chat will win the blue boat sticker. And that question is, what is the trinket that Enid took from Zablob's shop? The only hint I'll give is that it is purple. And with that, we'll be on break.
Purple.
We'll see y'all in just a few. Hey everyone, Steven from Castle Mac here. Wanted to take a moment to play this video over the break so that we wouldn't eat up time when we come back, so that we can get right back into the role-playing that we think you're here for. Wanted to sincerely thank you for being here. It truly means the world for us, really, you guys. We're overwhelmed by the support that we receive from you all, so truly thank you. Let's get some administrative stuff out of the way. As you may or may not know, you can find us on YouTube. There's a link right down below the video. We've got all kinds of links down there. Or you can find us at youtube.com/c/CastleMac, or searching for Castle Mac will pull it up. I do my best to get all the videos up within 24 hours of their live stream, so there shouldn't be much of a delay. Usually I'm faster than that, sometimes just a little bit behind, but every back episode is there, so you can can go check them out. Finally, you can find us all on Twitter. That's pretty much where we mostly hang out in the social media world. All of our Twitter handles are visible within the player tags, although we're pretty easy to find. Just do the @CastleMac and it'll fill out with the 6 of us. So give everybody a follow and let's talk D&D. It's pretty much all we want to do all the time. Another link down below you'll see is our Bandcamp. All of our music is completely original. This is done by CastleMac Andrew, and he's done just a phenomenal job. You can go listen to those tracks individually at our Bandcamp link. You can also purchase the album if you'd like to show him some support. He's got more stuff in the pipe, and it's going to be just fantastic. Finally, we do have a podcast. Speaking of audio, you can find us on iTunes under Castle Mac and other places that good podcasts are found. We're a little bit behind right now, but we're going to be caught up and have all the episodes for your audio pleasure. Finally, our Discord. The link is down below. Again, this has probably been the biggest hit with us. We love it so much. Lots of people come and hang out. We've made tons of good friends, lots of new friendships forged there. It's just fantastic. It's a really good community. So we invite all of you to come join us and have a good time. A lot of times after shows, we will hang out in the Discord voice chat, so you guys can come and we can all just kind of hang out a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Finally, let's talk about Divine Inspiration. As you've probably seen by now, every 500 bits or subscription equivalent earns our players a divine reroll. We think this is a really fun way of letting the viewers sort of act like they're the gods of the realm. They can subtly guide the actions of the players, whether it's, guiding an arrow or moving a shield over just a hair. So we really appreciate that. That is the immediate tangible benefit, but do want to talk about, what we do with those bits. We reinvest absolutely every dime we make into the stream, and you can look back at some of our older YouTube videos and see in a very short time we've come a long way. We really use that to pay for art. We've done tons of artist commissions, from overlays to character artwork, and we will continue to do so. We think artists make this community incredibly vibrant and bring visuals to life. I don't think any of this works without some of the wonderful art that people have done, and also equipment. As you probably know by now, if you spent any time with us, we have been making huge improvements to our audio, and that is really our number one focus right now. So we are saving up for a comprehensive audio equipment overhaul. Both Andrew and I have some background in recording, and we are really hoping to make that leaps and bounds better than what it is right now. We're really making do. It's challenging to mic a room full of people with broad dynamics, from whispers to shouts when people roll 20s. So we are being very thoughtful, and we're really focused on making that as absolutely amazing as we possibly can. And so you all are helping us with that. Every time you donate even a single bit, we really, truly appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to the break. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Thank you again for being here. It honestly means the world to us. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being with us here tonight. We enjoy the company. Now, we're going to just jump right back in. So, you all have gotten back in your, frankly, pretty beaten up wagon, and you have headed to this nightclub. This is in the Castle Ward. As you approach, the street lamps are lit with continual flame spells. It's really quite beautiful. Waterdeep at this time of night, still lively. There's lights everywhere. It's really kind of lovely, especially this part of the city, which is very well maintained. The streets are very clean. People are dressed nice. The guard have certainly, or the watch rather, have certainly keep the streets clean here. You're not seeing a lot of beggars and things. They've done a great job of this looking like where the nobility belongs. And as you pull up to this club, it's a nondescript building on the outside, except you do see the classic red velvet rope standing out. And standing at the entrance, so there's a red velvet rope with would-be club goers kind of lined up along the side of the building, nobles in their finest, quite avant-garde dress. People are wearing some pretty out-there outfits, things you wouldn't really expect. You see one person standing with a cane, and they've got like this huge high collar that looks like spider webs. Like it looks like that, that drawing of a spider web that sort of looks like it's maybe made of gold or something. Just kind of looking at people. Hairstyles and just strange makeup is weird. You see like the single line lipstick on a couple of people, and just all kinds of avant-garde clothing. Standing at the entranceway, you see a dwarf and a half-orc who look like bouncers, both just kind of eyeballing people. And standing behind them, you see a half-elf woman. She's in this like really nice white robe with what looks like a really huge hood that she could pull down, like it's just ruffled up quite thick. And she's looking at everyone and kind of staring intently at each person as they pass, and occasionally like rubbing her temples. So you see, like, as everyone comes in, the bouncers are looking them over, and she's just sitting there like, and they'll go inside. From inside, you do hear some music, and it sounds like, as the door opens, you kind of get that, like, hint of the music coming out. It sounds like it's completely otherworldly. It's not made by any instruments that you're familiar with. So, you all approach the entranceway, and the king just walks right up to the bouncers. He's like, my name is King Raimi from the Austin tribes. And the bouncer's kind of like, all right, your majesty, come right on in. Give him a look, but avoid the king, he says to the half-elf. And she kind of nods and locks eyes with you for a moment, Whistler. And as she's locking eyes with you, the bouncer says, any weapons on you?
Right. Yes, indeed.
All right, I need you to leave them here, please.
Right. These are finely crafted. I assume I'll get them back?
They're all finely crafted, sir. Club Levantus isn't in the habit of stealing people's fine weapons. Come on.
Give rapier, dagger. And I'm pretty sure that's all I have, actually.
He's like, anything else? And you see her stare, and he looks back at her, and she shakes her head. He takes him, he's like, all right. Puts him somewhere. He's like, all right, how about you, big fella? Leave that trident here. We'll take good care of it, promise. Anything else?
Yes. Hand axe, short sword,
The old Mad Max.
Yeah. He's kind of taking it all. He's like, all right.
big shield.
He's like, all right. Come well prepared. This is a nightclub. Anything else?
No, I think that is it.
And again, you catch the all. He looks back. She nods. He's like, all right, thank you.
Have fun carrying that.
He's like, how about you, miss? Weapons?
I have like the smallest little dagger.
You're like, oh, this whole thing?
It's like a nail file.
He's like, I'm sorry, miss. Need to take it.
It's like not even finely crafted. It's like I found it somewhere probably.
He puts it
rusty.
in and looks again to the half-elf. She looks at you and nods. He's like, all right, how about you? Weapons?
I'd just like to point out, seeing as the king was invited here, wouldn't it have been anticipated that those attending with him would be out for his personal safety?
It's like, if it was intended, it weren't intended by me and it weren't communicated to me. So, as far as I know, we're following all the rules. Weapons, please.
Is there a manager?
He's like, oh my god, you're going to do this. You want me to get my manager?
Do you want me to not look out for my friend that we're traveling with, a king?
So, all right, we got one. And he leans into the half-elf. Make a wisdom save.
I mean, I have the purest of intentions. She can read whatever she wants. 11.
All right. You feel, like, as she looks at you, you feel her gaze probing. And she reads your mind, and she does lean in and be like, and he's like, I don't give a shit. Leave the weapons. I'll go get the manager if you really want to talk about it. You really want me to? You really want me to do this?
What would be the problem with it? I'm looking out for my friend.
He's like, yeah, everyone's here looking out for them friends, looking out for themselves.
Is there another king in here?
Maybe not, but probably people with a lot more money than this guy. No offense, Your Majesty.
Excuse me?
I mean, like, you're coming close to offending all of us.
I would like to speak to your manager, please. He was invited here specially.
Sure, yeah, I'll go get him. I'm sorry, folks, I have to wait here because she doesn't like the rules.
I mean, like, and I'm sorry, folks, that people would insult nobility.
You look down and Raimi is kind of looking at the ground like... kind of doesn't look at any of you. He goes off, takes a couple minutes. The other bouncer is kind of like kind of does the awkward smile at you guys. Doesn't really say one way or the other. A couple minutes later, an elf comes down, fully shaven, bald, in like a red robe. Pretty androgynous. I hear there's some concern about the rules of Club Levantis. Is it that you want to carry that rapier inside?
I only mean to use it if my friend here is a recipient of any harm.
Your Majesty, she seems quite capable. Is it the tool that makes you capable? Or do you think that you'd be able to assist him otherwise? We do have guards, bouncers inside. You'll come to no harm here. I've been running Club Levantis for 347 years. Never has anyone died within. At least not violently.
We've already had guards attempt to,
That is unfortunate, but we have countermeasures in place. And he looks at the half-elf woman, kind of nods. It's like, so, here's what I can offer you. We don't let anyone break the rules. You could be Daggle to Neverember himself. You could be the Witch Nithbis. Weapons are not allowed in Club Levantis. So, either your rapier stays out here, or you do. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. The rules are inflexible in that matter.
I mean, like, I think that should do just fine. I mean, like, it was less that and more the way a king was treated here at the door. For a fair enough question of bodyguards, we appreciate the time you've taken to come down.
Of course. He kind of looks at the bouncer and he's like, do try to polish off those rough edges. We've talked about it before. I do apologize. Your Majesty, I'll tell you what. Your entire tab will be covered by me tonight. Please come in and enjoy your stay at Club Levantis. You're in for a treat tonight. Mr. Majestic himself is doing a show on the Feywild. Should be wonderful. Have a pleasant evening, folks. Forgive me for the wait, everyone. It's well worth it. Good night.
About the show on the Feywild, and it's really like, oh, of course.
And the bouncer takes your weapon. He's like, try to remember which one it is. Puts it in the box. Any other weapons?
Put everything in.
You do, and he again looks at the half-elf and she nods. He's like, have a great time at Club Levantis. Your Majesty, sorry for the inconvenience. Come on, alright. Who's next?
I'll hustle up to Nami and whisper in her ear, like, do you want me to take his soul?
Yeah,
Right. Fair enough.
but not now. Maybe later when we're leaving.
It'll take a bit more time than that. Half jokingly, maybe not.
Alright, you all walk in to what is quite possibly, even for you, Whistler, and definitely for you sailors, the most decadent scene you have ever seen. You come into a fairly large room. It's pentagon shaped, so it's got 5 massive walls. On 3 of those walls, you can see these private booths that are sort of set up, and they're actually, it's a loft. So there's a bottom floor of private booths, and then a second floor of these private booths, overlooking sort of a stage that's kind of at the point of 2 of the other walls. So imagine if, like, the bottom of a diamond, the stage is up here, private booths are kind of like that. You see club goers all over the place, again in that same avant-garde clothing. On the stage, you can see people dressed all in black. Each of them maybe look like elves, although you can't really tell because most of them are wearing these hoods that are kind of tight-fitting, like almost like scuba diver gear. Like it's almost like just their face is visible.
Like Devo style?
Yeah, 100%. And they're all manipulating the air in front of them, and you can see these glowing orbs that seem to be emitting music. And so it's just like this... It's just this weird, what almost would be electronic music, except it's generated by these orbs. And then you do see drums being played kind of in the background, and it's a decadent sight. Because there's also people leading around exotic animals. And they're just leading them, and most of them on their backs have trays of food. So you see like a tiger walking through the crowd, and someone grabs like an hors d'oeuvre off the back of a tiger. You in fact see an elephant being walked, and hanging off the side of the elephant is a bar. And it's like a person's kind of sitting, like hanging on the side. Think Dino Riders, right? And then there's a bar kind of in front of them, and this elephant is like just walking and kind of stopping. I'm going to get you pouring drinks from hanging from the side of this elephant.
So this is a gigantic room then.
Pretty gigantic, yeah. I mean, it's not like, a convention center or anything like that, but it's pretty
Warehouse
large.
party?
Yeah, it's basically a warehouse party. And, Raimi is just sort of like, okay, I wasn't sure what to expect. I did not expect this.
I'll be like, neither was I. Waterdeep, the castle wood.
It is absolutely strange. And the music is kind of thrumming. Boom, 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 boom. There's people dancing all over the place. You can clearly see, I'm not going to say strippers, but people who are dancing very evocatively, sort of set aside on little pedestals kind of all around. People of all races. Yeah, go-go dancers of all races and genders, clearly dancing to get people excited about it. The king kind of stands there for some time. Sorry, one second. My Chrome has crashed on me. Anyone have any questions while you're here? Yeah, go ahead. Please, sorry. I need
It's
just a second.
certainly very different from anything we have seen so far, right?
What do nightclubs look like underwater? Is everybody floating?
I would assume so. Unfortunately, I was not of the age to attend such places before I left.
This baby boy. Fresh in the world.
We also did not have many in the Legion in and of itself.
I've never seen anything like this.
We aren't very keen on the extracurricular entertainment, as one would say.
Well, I feel like that's probably to the detriment of those serving in the military.
As you say this, a figure walks up wearing the same kind of almost skin-tight black clothing, walks up to him and was like, "You must be His Majesty King Raimi." And he's like, "Yes." They bow. "I am Dranor. I will take care of you tonight." Smiles and then swipes their face, and it's almost like a swipe comes across, and they're now like back to normal, and the face looks like slightly different features.
Yeah.
There's a private booth waiting for you. Follow me this way.
I'll take Enid's arm.
You guys walk by.
Take Hydarian's.
And as you do, Mordecai looks at the king. He's like, "We do not need to do that." You all walk somewhat through the dancers, and people are dancing. I mean, people are sweating. It smells like perfume and sweat in here. But the perfume is clearly like heavily masking most of it. But people are dancing, and they're getting crazy. Like, they're just getting wild. Such just evocative dancing all over the place. People seem to be having a wonderful time, but it almost seems like they're having a good time in earnest. Like, you're not necessarily seeing laughing and carrying on. It's more just people, like, intensely, like, feeling the music and dancing, which is just strange for these characters, I think.
Is it like the scene of Hocus Pocus where they get under the spell at that parents' party, you know?
100%. Can't stop dancing.
I think of.
I'm going to rub my finger across somebody's sweaty chest, and then... Well, they are having a good time.
All right, you do so. The figure in front of you leads you to a booth up on the upper floor. And it's just like, ring the bell if you need anything. Thank you, and welcome again. The face goes back to like kind of a neutral state. Moves almost like the legs move before the head. Difficult to tell what that is. Walks downstairs. What was that?
Are they an android?
Maybe something. In this booth, you've got a red plush bench seat around a wide table. There are 2 silver basins filled with ice and bottles sticking out of them. Y'all got the champagne room basically going on right now. And Raimi is like, well, this is interesting. I'm not sure what to expect. And you all from the table can have a very nice, unobstructed view to the stage as you're essentially over the dancers. You were going to say something?
Your Majesty, who exactly are we supposed to be meeting here?
Oh, no one in particular. This was set up for my entertainment.
Are you entertained?
I am intrigued.
Same.
Part of this with any nightclub, when you go out socially, is not just to see what's around you, but it's to be seen.
I understand. That does make sense. Well, we've certainly been seen.
As I'm stuffing my face with some food that's there.
You're like, oh man, have you guys had this?
Pardon me, Your Majesty, for what happened at the door.
I understand. Warriors do not like to be parted with their weapons.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that you've accepted me as I am, considering you've allowed me to keep you company for this long, and this is just who I am. I don't trust anyone.
I understand. Thus far, I have seen you be extremely effective without even needing your blade, so I am not concerned. Well, what do? Do we dance as they are dancing? I do not know this technique.
Hydarian's a great dancer.
Is that so?
No, he's not a good dancer.
Many talents, unfortunately, dancing is not one.
I'm a great dancer. Would you like to
My own
dance?
people, I am revered as a dancer.
I believe you, but I don't know your people, so I don't know what that means exactly. Your cooking was certainly spectacular. Yes, I would love a dance, Enid. Thank you so much. Will the rest of you be joining? Mordecai's like, oh, stay here at the table. Have some more of this wine.
I would enjoy to dance, yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking around who's dancing.
Roll a perception check.
I'll be looking at the opposite side of we'll just be like,
Okay, all right.
I got a 17.
17. Let's see what Nami gets here to see. Okay. You spot it first. Looking out in the crowd, you see 2 figures just grinding. Big floppy hat with feathers and a big moppy head of red hair just grinding against each other. And you see Volo and Floon dancing right in the middle of the room.
Yes, will. I mean, to myself, just thanking the 9 hells. Just, oh, yes. I'll tap Nami.
Yeah,
since
Nami's looking out to you, tap and point, and I mean, you see Volo just sweating.
with glue. That was like the What's That movie with Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's. Like,
That noise. Wow.
y'all.
Well,
crazy.
they're certainly getting into it.
Indeed.
Do you want to show me how to do that? Just kidding.
Oh, you endlessly find ways to wound me. And I'll descend to go dance too.
All right, as you all are descending, you see a strange sight coming up the stairs. A snake with wings is flying, and
my God.
there's snacks tied on its back. It's just, and there's like a bag of cookies hanging off it. Just these little like feathery wings. I mean, you all are just like,
I would take a cookie.
okay. You kind of and it's flying like pretty slow. Like clearly the wings aren't. Yeah, you kind of and you kind of do. And when you grab it, it notices and kind of turns and it kind of coils around your arm for a second before flying on. Actually, it kind of coils and seems to kind of hang there for a second around the party.
I would have the cookie in my hand and look at Whistler and be like,
Like, blind snakes with a ghost. Potentially.
And then off it flies. You descend the stairs back to the partygoers. Everyone's with you. Mordecai opted to stay at the table. Everybody dancing?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just making my rounds around the room, looking
Okay.
and seeing if anyone is staring at the king.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh.
How's a 22?
Nat 20. You do, in fact, see someone staring at the king with a nat 20. Doesn't seem to be nefariously staring, like not studying, more like recognition. And it's this, frankly, it's a young man in his probably mid-30s. Kind of looks like me, the NPC picture. Long face, parted hair. And he's just kind of watching, dresses nicer than me, clearly in some nobility, and is with some attendants, it'll look like. Younger kids, maybe related to him or maybe attendants. But he is looking at the king and kind of like talking with them and clearly kind of keeps looking that way, but doesn't seem to have foul intentions. Like, isn't like, you know, like that. Mm-hmm. You pick up the vibe that it's not nearly as sinister. But okay. you notice it. Like, it's the one. That guy is staring at the king. Can't take his eyes off him.
Does it look like I could approach him to talk without his attendants?
He's kind of standing with them, so no, but you could potentially kind of pull him away from them.
I'll kind of go in close and be like...
Alright, he's sort of like, I'm sorry, do I know you?
No. However, it seems you might know my friend. That's King Raimi. Have you met him?
He smiles. He says, I saw you come in with him. As a matter of fact, my name is Jallister Silvermane. I'll be in the negotiations tomorrow on behalf of Lady Silvermane.
Lovely.
Yes, I've been entrusted with the final authority to sign the treaty, so I look forward to the negotiations, and I'm sure we can come to some agreement. What was your name again, Nami?
Nami.
Wonderful to make your acquaintance, wonderful.
Wonderful to make your acquaintance.
I hope the king is enjoying his time in Waterdeep.
Absolutely, we've had quite a time here.
Oh, good. I'm pleased to hear that. And the club, his first time. Your first time.
All of our first times.
We're in for a treat tonight. Mr. Majestic is performing and always leaves me breathless.
That's what everyone keeps saying. However, forgive me, I've spent most of my time on ships. Who is Mr. Majestic?
Oh, yes, a sailor. Interesting. He is one of the foremost illusionists on the Sword Coast.
An illusionist?
Illusions, Michael.
They're illusions, Michael.
Oh my god. Sounds very interesting. I've never seen something like that before.
It'll be spectacular, I'm sure. I haven't seen this particular show, but it's gotten good reviews. Read it in the broadsheet 2 days ago.
Well, that's absolutely lovely. It's been nice to meet you. And
nice to meet you as well.
I'll see you tomorrow, I suppose.
Indeed. Have a wonderful time tonight.
Thank you, you as well.
He bows genuinely.
I'll bow back.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
You okay over there?
Fine.
What do you guys do? Well, she's talking to him. What are you guys doing? You just out there dancing it up?
To dance.
All right.
I want to dance with the king.
Where Enid is dancing with all of her beauty and grace, I am dancing nasty.
As you do.
Thank you for the subscription, Tetzloff? Let me know if I pronounce that right, but thank you. We appreciate that. That earns the crew a divine reroll, so thank you for that.
Thanks.
Okay, why don't you guys all roll me what you think is appropriate? I'm not sure the performance is appropriate for what you're doing. You're getting nasty.
Oh, it's a performance, all right.
But for the rest of you...
You tell me what
How about
you think it is.
religion? Because his,
Did you roll a nat 20?
Nat 20.
as usual.
What do you think? Help me out. I don't have a character sheet in front of me.
I'm acrobatics, I don't
They've
know.
kind of gotten rid of seduction. That used to be in 3rd edition. Oh, I mean, you can roll performance. It makes sense.
How about animal handling for the way you're moving?
Ooh, handling that anaconda.
Don't.
I said,
Don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
His
Don't.
anaconda don't.
I'm sorry, I went there.
Anaconda, don't.
I could do that or persuasion, but
Your
or
choice.
acrobatics.
Your choice.
Cookies with your cookies, no?
I'm gonna reroll.
Okay, yeah, use them.
Well, even fucking worse.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, you're almost not dancing though. You're just like, oh, hello there, just grinding. You're doing the volo. I actually forgot how to do it.
I would never do that.
I forgot how to do it. But it almost puts people off a tiny bit. Like maybe you read it and you're like, I'm gonna go all in.
Well, a goddamn devil with no shirt on is coming up to them.
Yeah, they're a little bit like, okay, man. No, all right, man, cool it. But
This is a bullshit club. Fuck these prudes.
I think music is your art. Dancing, the grind, maybe not as much. I don't think you've ever been in a nightclub before, right? This is kind of your first time, I would imagine.
Oh my god, no. For Whistler?
I mean, you think there's a nightclub in your little kingdom?
In my kingdom, no,
Yeah.
but I've traveled through every city on the way up.
All right, fair enough. You at least don't put anyone off. You just don't necessarily.
I made the role. I'm totally fine with putting people off. I'm half reacting to people not.
Yeah.
This is an
Eventually
uppity
you
club.
settle in. What did you roll?
I rolled an 11.
I mean, you fit in. You've learned some things. You're like watching other people, and you're like, cool. But mostly, all eyes are on Enid. Like once Enid gets in, just kind of like, okay, here we go, and you just start this dance. And I mean, people pull back. People pull back to watch you, and you're dancing, and you hear Volo's voice above the door, like, oh, that must be Enid, my friend Enid. Yes.
What'd you say, friend?
And you kind of see his feather sticking up around people. And I mean, people are watching and they're clapping and people are dancing along, like kind of to the side, but people have given you room. And, all of you all see Enid completely tearing it up out there. Mm-hmm. All right. Enid, as...
Called cutting a rug.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
As you were dancing... Jesus.
What?
As you were dancing, the lights above, which, by the way, you look up and there are these twinkling globes that the colors change along with the music. All of the light in the club is provided by this. All of the lights get extremely bright for a split second, like white light. Good? Mm-hmm. Playing with your hair too much over there? It gets extremely bright and then dims extremely low. This almost purple and blue light. And a voice booms. Behold, club goers! Tonight I will take thee on a journey to the wild and wonderful world of the Fae. And the curtain parts ever so slightly. And a man walks out with like a thin goatee mustache. He's got the classic high collar cape, high black shiny boots, and he steps out. The Feywild is untouched by our sun. And of our moon, Selûne, and her trailing tears, there is no silvery light. And as he does this, above you all, you see the moon. Toral's moon, Selûne, which is trailed by these little meteorites called Selûne's tears. And they look impossibly realistic and impossibly far. They both look like they're within the room and also in the night sky. And you hear gasps and people just... He says, as these illusions kind of fade, he says, but that is not the light that we see in the Fae. And he kind of raises his hand and music starts. It's like voices and Sylvan chanting. He says, for they live under the black sun. And as he does, this huge orb of black and purple that's yet giving off black light in a strange thing. And these rays sort of shoot out all over the place. And he says, now, we dance as the Fae do. And the music's just the music drops.
Enid's probably just like, no.
Yeah, you're like, that's a complete bullshit.
Their sun's not black.
But people are absolutely loving it. And he's controlling it, and the sun is spinning. It's this black orb, these just shafts of light going off that sort of trail through the crowd. And as they do, you can see it wash over you. It's almost like black light or something. It's an extremely...
What do we see on Whistler?
Good question. What do you
Under
think?
the black light.
What do you think we see
There's
on this?
been no time for Whistler to do everything he wants
Y'all were
to
alone
do.
in that wagon.
No, he was being manipulative.
Hey, Wiley. Thank you, my dude. Wiley just subbed.
Oh, thanks,
You're the
Wiley.
man, my dude. That's 9 months on Wiley sub.
Oh my
Damn,
god.
Wiley.
Thank you, sir. We love you. And the dancing continues. Gets ultra wild. The music drops. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Fae, but I think you have a pretty good time. Anything else anyone would like to do at the nightclub until you sort of get tired out?
I'm enjoying being world's #1 dancer.
Yeah, I mean, you're incredible.
I think Whistler retires realizing that, not that he's offended, but that just that he's not getting the response that he wants to. I think he's a little huffy.
Yeah.
I think he huffs to the booth. I think he's a fucking diva about it.
While Enid's dancing, I think I would try to go find Volo and like pull him onto the dance floor.
Oh, he does. I mean, he can't dance for shit, but he makes up for it with enthusiasm. Like, he's just like stomping heavy and like moving his arms weird. Has no idea how to dance, but gets way into it with you, and you know, it seems to be having a great time. He's just like, oh yes, Enid, I never knew. So wonderful. This is my friend Enid.
His friend.
Oh, thank you, Quinn. You the man. Guys, a lot of divine rerolls.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank y'all.
Yeah, you dance with Volo for a while. He doesn't really, there's no time for conversation. It's too loud and he's far too out of breath. Floon looks a little hurt. Like, no, have fun, please.
I'll pull Floon out there too.
All right. You have a wonderful time. Enid dances late into the evening, but nothing else in particular happens unless any of you wish to do anything.
No, but I'm trying to go to like an all-night tavern after this for some after nightclub breakfast.
Yep.
I'm just going to press Mordecai and make him more and more uncomfortable with his huffiness and being like, I was in a harem once, and let me tell you. I mean, giving enough details so that he's like...
I love it. Hi, Darian. You kind of get tired of it after a while. Like, okay, I think I'm done. What about you, Nami? You watch Enid, like, loving it. The king retires pretty quick. Like, that was interesting. The king comes and sits with the three of you again. Talk does move a little bit towards the contract as well. And if you show up, they're kind of continuing. They kind of fill you in on it. What about you? What do you do, Nami?
I have a thing I think I want to do. Could I go talk to the elf that was from out front?
Oh,
manager?
the owner?
No, not the manager, but the one that was like...
The half
elf?
Mm-hmm.
You could certainly try. Yeah.
That's ominous. Like, yeah, okay, sure.
Well, she's on duty.
Yeah.
Is all.
All right, yeah, I'd go out there. No duty jokes. I'd go out front and try to talk to her. So, do you
How
just...
you doing? She's just like, yes.
Do you just work here?
She says, primarily, yes. The pay is good for my services.
Do you mind if I ask you a business question?
She says, yes, briefly, I do have work to do.
Would I maybe be able to use your services tomorrow? Be before nighttime. I'm assuming you typically work in the evenings here.
I don't see why not. What's the job, may I ask?
Well, it is sort of a royal matter.
I see. That is technically forbidden within Waterdeep. Is this something more clandestine?
Oh. Would I have known that it was...
Mind reading, you probably wouldn't. You're not a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Mind reading is actually illegal within Waterdeep, which is why seeing this is a little strange. They probably have a special permit or a special order. But as she's looking at you, she's like, so perhaps best we not discuss it. She looks to them, and you see her fingers move a little bit, and her voice appears in your head. It's like, did you have a specific job in mind? But as she's not speaking, she's watching people.
Mostly I'm concerned for the well-being of my friend here. Had a couple events happen that I'd like to look out for, and a couple of these events have taken place with people that were supposed to be looking out for him.
She's like continuing to do her job, makes like looks eyes with the bouncer and nods for someone else and moves her fingers again a bit.
I'd probably like light up a pipe and just act like I'm not.
Yeah, you're just leaning somewhere else and her voice appears back in your head. And she's like, I'm certainly interested. 100 gold pieces for 3 hours.
I'll get back to my friends and I'll come back out before the night's over.
Sounds good. Meet me at the yawning portal if you're amenable to it. Tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
She's like, all right, have a good one. She's like, this one's got one in his boot. The bouncer's like, mate. He's like, yeah, you got me. Just don't like to leave home without it. He's like, all right, come on in.
I'd go back in and see who was not already talking to or dancing with someone.
I think at this point, everyone but Enid is back at the booth. But Enid is just out there, like,
Cutting a rug.
just, her hands are moving in ways you can't even comprehend. People are, like, loving it.
She has her own, like, glow balls that she plays.
Yeah.
I'm Raven.
One of the animal handlers,
Oh, right, sorry.
leads a lion out with her, and the lion's, like, walking around her, and the lion's, like, super well trained, and Enid just rolls with it. It's like standing on the back of the lion at one point.
Oh my god.
I mean, you rolled a 20. We'll have some fun with it. But everyone else is at the booth, and Whistler's watching, not as impressed as everyone else.
I'll
Happy for Enid, but otherwise, is...
He's so pouty.
I'd probably plop down right between them and just kind of like lean my head on Whistler's shoulder, pretending to just be like tired, like, and then I'd whisper, "The lady up front's willing to help us tomorrow. I can get her for 3 hours. Technically illegal here in Waterdeep, apparently, but she said to meet her at the Yawning Portal tomorrow if we're interested. 100 gold."
Perfect. At least on the way there, we should be able to address a threat. There's no way she'll be able to be in the negotiations, but I don't expect anything to happen there. If so, we're all dead because the Lords Alliance will have planned our murder, which is doubtful.
Exactly. However, it seems like the likely last attempt for an attack could happen on the way.
Or on the way out of Waterdeep. But yes, before the treaty's signed. If it's signed, there's nothing they can do, even with a dead king.
Should we all go in the morning? I'm thinking the less people we involve in knowing about this, the better. You and I could go.
We could, or just you if you'd rather.
You're the best one at figuring out contracts, though.
I should come. Thank you for thinking of me.
It's the only compliment you'll ever get from me.
I'll be like, that's fine. I'll be like, I needed it. This place isn't everything it's cracked up to be.
Leave a bad Yelp review.
We've already talked to the manager, okay? I put on my Uggs. I want to talk to the manager.
I think it's fully believable that he is petty as shit.
Awesome. All right, the king is finally like, well, I think we should get some rest tonight. Tomorrow is a large day, and I will be leaving tomorrow evening on my ship, hopefully with an amenable contract. Shall we return to our inn?
We're all staring near him, right?
Everyone but Enid. I think you're going to have to grab her on the way out.
No, but I mean, we're staying at the inn.
Yeah, you're staying
right?
in the inn with him, yep.
But he's staying in probably in a
staying in the
whole
nice
different
one.
section.
Yeah, I think he had his own suite.
Okay.
Actually, I guess technically he didn't get you guys a room there. But
I thought we were still...
I think it's safe to say at some point you would have been like, probably best that you guys stay there too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you'll be staying at that inn tonight.
I'll go get Enid.
Very well. This was interesting. I think it was enjoyable, but not exactly the way I would spend my free time, but to each their own.
I'm right there with you, King.
You get out there, and Enid is, like, dancing around Volo, like, spinning his hat, like, takes his feather out, has it in her hair. And you kind of see her, and Volo is just like... he's
I'll go out and do the whole, like... and try and, like, rope her in.
make a performance check.
Oh, God. 3.
You see a couple other people, like they kind of try it, and they're like, nah. Like it almost could have been a trend.
Oh, my
But
God.
like,
But no.
I think that Enid would have picked up what she was trying to do, and I'd be like,
Like,
this is the most fun Enid's ever had.
oh, my God. She loves this club.
You pull Enid out, and Enid, you were in summer, right?
Yeah,
I think without even realizing it, you've passed back into spring.
yeah.
Like, she comes out, she's green again, she's beaming and breathless and sweaty. And Volo's like, goodbye, Enid, goodbye, it was a pleasure dancing with you tonight. Come here, Floon, come here, you. And, I mean, he's just, like, profusely sweating, Volo is. His hat is, like, ringed with sweat. And you all leave the club, unless there's any other conversations you'd like to have amongst thyselves.
No, I think Enid's probably pretty tired now.
Yeah. You're kind of like, yeah, that was fun.
Enid, you were the, what's the expression around here?
I wouldn't know it even if you said it.
The bird of the ball? The bear of the ball?
Bell. The
Yeah.
bell.
I don't understand.
Bells go in towers. What?
I'd be like, yes. The important thing is that Enid is the greatest dancer in Waterdeep. Arguably. He's not being petty. He's not being shitty.
Yeah.
Arguably the material plane.
Thank you.
Your Majesty, did you enjoy your evening?
I did, thank you. I think I preferred the company of your friends Avi and Imbrick to the club, but you have shown me a wonderful time here, and I look forward to the negotiations tomorrow. For as much as I have enjoyed my time here, when we weren't avoiding my assassination, I think my place is with my people.
I hope we were able to show you some of the better sides of the coin of Waterdeep.
I think you have. The people are fine. The people are wonderful. The bureaucracy, the nobility, perhaps it is a cautionary tale for me. Well, we should all get some sleep.
Agreed.
And you do. And Nami, you have a dream. It's a strange one for you, Nami. You are asleep and you wake up. Think you wake up. You think you're lucid right now. You're in the inn.
My heart just started beating so fast.
Yeah?
This is how scared I am of these
Good.
dreams, okay?
Good. You're in the inn and you look around and you all were able to really kind of get a shared room again. I think it's all four of you in essentially two beds. And you look and, I don't know, Enid is sleeping next to you, whoever you would sleep. Probably Hydarian, actually.
Yeah, honestly.
I'd want to sleep next to Whistler, probably.
Yeah, you look and you can see Hydarian and he is sleeping peacefully and you can smell the sea. You're like, well, this is kind of interesting. And yeah, you sniff him and kind of stand up. You feel wide awake. You stretch a little bit. And you look down at the ground and you start to see the floorboards darken. And then you realize that water is pushing up between the cracks in the floor. And you're just like you try to wake up Hydarian, he doesn't react. You try to wake him and you're pushing him and he almost seems like he's made of stone, doesn't move at all. And you look and the water continues to rise, now fairly rapidly, and it's frothing around you, pushing against the walls of the place. You hear it creaking, the whole inn seems to be creaking. You have a thought about King Raimi and you rush to the door and you pull it open, and as you do, a tide of water just pushes you back against the side of it. The windows crack and you look out and you see lights in Waterdeep twinkling out as they're filled up by the sea. And as you're looking out that window, being pressed against it, you see this white light. It's almost like it in the distance at first, and then starts to completely fill your vision. And it says, Nami, we have work to do. And then you wake up, and Hydarian is looking at you, and his eyes are open, but he's asleep.
You weirdo.
Probably, slap his face.
Hydarian, you wake up.
What was that for?
Did you know you sleep with your eyes open?
Yes,
Perfect.
Tritons don't have eyelids. We don't close our eyes.
Oh, shit, I never noticed that.
Shit, I never noticed that.
I will turn away. I'm sorry. I did not mean to disturb you. Did it give you nightmares?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pillow talk. I had a pretty bad dream, and I'm hoping it doesn't mean that we all die tomorrow.
I don't think we will. I think these steps taken, we are in good hands, I feel now. We have proven to those. We will be fine.
I don't know, someone spoke to me in my dream, and it was either death or, something else, or, maybe someone who practices the arcane. Or maybe my dad. I don't know.
Nami, we live in the real world, not a dream world. Dreams cannot affect us but so much unless we let them.
But we also live in a world where people can get into our minds.
That is up to you how much you let that affect you. In the end of the day, a fist to the face only hurts in the real world and not the dream.
Haha, you're right, and I'll punch him.
Clocks you a little bit. You all hear the scuffle and sort of wake up a little bit as you hear her punching. Hi, Dan. You hear the bed just...
Whistle will look up, wondering if it's... Oh, good.
I'll whisper a kiss, like...
Just cutting eyes. And then I will get back to my Enid cuddle, which I'm sure is just absolutely...
Almost cat-like,
just curl into Enid.
I think we have a good cuddle.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like
definitely
a cat
cuddling.
when your owner brings over a new human.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Hold up. Okay, we good? All right. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. And morning comes, and you all are having breakfast in the, again, beautifully appointed Golden Marmot Inn. Raimi seems to have an excitement around him. He's in a fresh pair of clothing now, having finally replaced the ripped and torn one. He is looking as regal as ever.
What are we wearing?
Well, what do you
I was
have?
just about to say, I'm probably still wearing my torn clothes, so I'll speak up. Pardon me, King, but I left my clothes back at the room I was staying at.
Oh, of course,
Do you mind if I whistle it? Would you...
I absolutely need to go back. Would you like me to fetch things for you?
Captain, could you grab my, I guess my shipward garb is the only one left.
Absolutely.
Whistler, you know exactly what would make me look the best.
That'd be... Got it.
Very well, then. The two of you will stay with me and dine, and the two of you can return as quickly as you can.
We'll be back very shortly.
Thank you all. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Same, Your Majesty. A show of force. Just reiterating probably their own strategy, and then
Right. All right, you two make it to the yawning portal pretty quick.
And I still have that 75-ish gold or whatever that he'd given.
100%. Yep, he did say just keep the rest.
So I'm gonna use it on this.
Yep, got it. All right, you guys arrive at the yawning portal. It's Shaylee in the morning. She's kind of like, oh, hello there. Haven't seen you in a day or two.
well,
We've been attending a job.
Wow, good.
yes.
Gainful employment and all that.
It's been wonderful. Actually, Whistler stepping back in and hearing about that will suddenly kind of remember and look to that door where the...
Door looks shut. And as you look around, you see the half-elf. She's sitting there with her legs crossed. She's got a small cup of coffee or something, some warm beverage. She kind of sips it and nods at you.
Could we order two coffees?
She's like, of course. Just brewed a fresh pot. He goes back, pours it up for you.
I'll be, why don't you take a seat? I'll grab the coffees.
I'm so bad at negotiating.
No, I mean, he's just waiting
Yeah,
so that
okay.
Shaylee doesn't come and bring them over.
Okay.
Got it. You wait there. Sorry, I'm just looking something up. You watch, Shaylee take this massive carafe that's been heated on the fire in the back and pour you some fresh coffee.
Or tea,
Smells
whatever
nice.
they had then.
I mean, coffee's been around for a long time. I would imagine there's coffee in our Faerun. It'd be weird not to. Hands you the two mugs. You sit down, and she kind of nods at you. It's like, still looking to have me do that job for you.
Absolutely.
Have you the gold?
We do. I was thinking half now, half after.
Seems fair. You know this is illegal, right?
Which is why we've only included the two of us.
Right. I see.
It should only be on the caravan there and out. We're just looking to know about a threat beforehand.
Understood.
We've been ambushed twice.
Threat detection happens to be my specialty.
We thought so.
Well, who is it's that king you were with, right?
Indeed.
From Chult.
Absolutely.
Interesting. As she says that, you hear some voices, and you look, and the winch is being pulled up. As the winch creaks and squeaks, and some people kind of get up from their chairs and come over to the edge, like looking down into the darkness. And she's like, "Oh, interesting." Shaylee's like, "What do we got, boys?" They're like, "Oh, someone rang the bell."
Ooh, we should take in the event while we're here.
She kind of nods and is like, "Why not, I suppose?" And you all walk to the edge. The winch continues turning. Finally, out of the gloom, from the 4 ropes that come up, you see 4 figures. 2 of them lying prone, the other 2 sitting beside them and holding onto the ropes. The rope comes up. 2 humans, man and a woman, sitting next to a halfling that's prone and a dragonborn in plate mail. Both look to be deceased.
My handsome dragonborn.
It's a shame.
They kind of come up. You hear some murmurs like, "Yeah. When somebody lose someone, people kind of start dispersing and everything. And they kind of get up. One of the humans is just... It's worse down there than anyone would have ever told me. Can we get some help with him? It's not fair. It's not fair." They pick them up. Nami, you see a worn and tattered scarf hanging out of the gauntlet of the Dragonborn. Looks to be quite dirty, but it was at one time vibrant and beautiful.
Don't think we should tell Enid.
Absolutely not.
They're just like, all right. Carry the body. One of them scoops up the halfling, carries it like a child. It's like, "I'm sorry." Kind of rubs its face again. It's like, all right, let's get out of here.
It's a great way to start our morning.
She's kind of staring at them. It's like, well, that's what happens down there, I suppose.
Should we, in the event that we do get caught, which we won't, this is all on me.
Understood. We won't get caught, don't worry. I'll keep your king safe.
Thank you. We're going to go get changed and grab some clothes, but we'll be in the... I'll give directions to where we're, the king's staying, just to be ready.
Yep. I'll meet you there then.
How are we going to keep her hidden from the king, but traveling with us?
Like, she merely just needs to be close. Plus, we need not say anything at all. I mean, we say something if we have to say something. Otherwise...
All right.
Okay.
Yep. Grab clothes, get changed.
Yep, you get your clothes, get everyone else's clothes, get back to the tavern. You all have an opportunity to get...
50 up front.
Yep. You all have an opportunity to get changed. Yeah, you paid her the 50, and you all head to where the negotiations are going to take place. Hydarian and Enid, can you all make me a perception check?
Sure.
See if you all recognize this girl. Now, that being said, she is trying to not be noticed. And remember I mentioned she had that kind of big hood? She now has that down. And you all are, kind of casually looking. She's clearly, leaning against a corner. She'll, walk behind you all, kind of sauntering a little bit, look like she's looking at something in a stall. She seems like she is familiar with this kind of work.
Whistler's impressed.
All right, what did you all get?
I got a 9.
I got an 8.
You guys have no idea. King has no idea. Mordecai certainly doesn't. Finally, you all arrive in basically a magistrate's office. It's a nicely appointed magistrate's office, and you walk in, and Raven, you see Jalister Silvermane, the man you saw the previous night with a couple of aides. There's also a man you don't recognize, dresses like a merchant, like that sort of middle class. Dresses like a merchant, has a really dour-looking face, And when Jallister reintroduces himself, which we'll roleplay in a second, the merchant doesn't. The merchant doesn't even introduce himself. Just kind of nods and seems to have like parchment and papers and everything, but makes no mention of who he is, really doesn't even say anything to anybody. But Jallister is there. You also see the Contessa, Lauren. You see the heiress, Armeline. And you see Professor Corsair. And they look delighted to see you. All three of them. They're all just like, oh, hello. Laurel is kind of like, hello, everyone. And the professor's like, Naomi, hello. It's good to see you again. I'm glad we could do this. I hope your stay has been fine, my king. And he's like, yes, thank you. My stay has been wonderful. It's a pleasure to see all of you again. And Jallister kind of motions for everyone to sit down. Arrangements have been made around this large, wide table. Food has been laid out for everyone in very small portions. Water. And by the way, your girl, at one point, like, as you guys got there, she kind of looked at you, you nodded at her, and she disappeared into the crowd. Having seemingly done her job, nice thinking, everyone. You beat a third ambush puzzle.
Hell yeah. I'm giving my inspo for that.
Nice.
Thinking, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I guess you guys didn't even necessarily see what she did, but it would have been like, wouldn't do it, boys.
Yeah.
They're like, She's like, watch has been alerted. I'm like, oh, okay.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Nicely done.
All right, Jallister says, ladies, gentlemen, I am Jallister Silvermane, and I am here on the authority of the Lord's Alliance. I am representing Lady Silvermane herself. This contract will come to fruition today, one way or the other. My king, I hope we can find an amenable solution to the situation as it currently stands in Arson. I am prepared to hear opening remarks. And the king kind of clears his throat. He says, would you do me the honors, Whistler? You have a silver tongue.
I would indeed, Your Majesty. Some familiar faces I'm glad to see on the other end of this table.
Some smiles. People are taking it very professionally, though.
Some I've just met. Some I've yet to be introduced to. We come to a simple question of sovereignty. Something we take very seriously here. I wonder how we would feel if in the Desert Valley we suddenly had Thaans running around, unlawful taking of property, taking our own resources, or where else? Where else could we have seen that? Cults that had a number of mercenary companies, last I remember, who ran through this entire coast. The loss of life of that was tragic. We sing songs about it now. And yet, we would turn around and allow this same lawlessness to another kingdom? Why? Because it's across an ocean? Because it's not our people? I can't see how we'd want to do that at all. What was the point of stopping Tiamat if we should debase ourselves in such a way? So, it's a simple question. What is sovereignty? What is honor? That's why we are suggesting that all companies pull out immediately. They take up roots, they come back here, where we can have oversight, something that we clearly care about here, and the Lord's Alliance, of course.
Beautiful. And with that, Sean, before we go to break, roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Don't fail me now.
You got an inspo.
Oh, got an inspo.
Divine inspo.
Oh, yeah.
How much do the gods love you?
See if the gods can assist tonight.
There we go. And it was persuasion?
Yes, sir.
That's a 20 then.
All right.
I've called upon the hells. So those inspirations were not divine. They were infernal.
Infernal inspiration. With that, as our scene fades to black, clearly indicating this conversation will take 8 hours, we're going to go to break. And before we do, we have one more trivia question for you to win one of these amazing vinyl blue boat stickers by
Blue Ruin Relics.
Blue Ruin Relics. So, with that,
Ruin.
the trivia question, which must be answered here in the Twitch chat, is: what activity did the NPC who worked in the tailor shop, who specifically made capes for the crew, really want to participate in with Nami? Name the activity in the chat and you will earn yourself a sticker, and we'll be right back, everybody. Hey y'all, we're back with another installment of MacLore 1997.
Forgot. It's MacLore 1997.
That's the title. And today we're going to talk about like you're watching this multiple days. This is a disaster, but we're going to keep rolling because that's how we do. Going to talk about our Princes of the Apocalypse campaign, and if you're watching this on YouTube or catching up, Princes of the Apocalypse rolls into Castle Mac versus Elemental Evil because my man killed us all. Party wipe. It was great.
They killed themselves.
Yeah, we kind of did. I mean, if you watch it, there were some points that you were like, no, we could have saved it. Why don't you give us a setup for Princes of the Apocalypse?
Princes of the Apocalypse, the newly published remake of Temple of Elemental Evil. It started out, again, we had it takes place after our original campaign, Horde of the Dragon Queen, about a year and a half difference. Actually, no, I think it was about 2 years at this point. Year and a half to 2.
Yeah, it was about a year and a half.
Year and a half to 2. So, the Sword Coast is fairly devastated.
Right.
But adventurers were needed. And so we had the lovely characters. I'll start with this and then Steven can say the other one. So, his character of Broderick Reinwald, an old non-commissioned officer who was a bard but had no vicious mockery or anything like that. That was far past his prime and looking for a good time to die. Had lived his life with his family and needed a bit to lead the other two a bit.
Yeah, he was a fun character. And then, of course, Andrew played Heinrich, who was a cleric / potentially avatar of Tempest, which was a lot of fun to explore.
He was the son of Tempest.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Lydia came in and played Adara, who was a fire genasi. Didn't get to explore a lot of her story because we all died. And then our friend Jeff played for a little while there at the beginning as... oh gosh, I get
Nos.
the two of them. Yeah, Nos, because Nal was Andrew's.
Yeah.
Anyways. And he was like an assassin wizard, had been trained to be this assassin and had kind of broken away from it. So anyway, so that campaign, like Sean said, was a year and a half after the Rise of Tiamat, and I think in our kind of head, it was a lot of the scattered cultists
that was
looking for a cause.
The question, like arcane knowledge, they were part of a cult that clearly got destroyed, and I think the prophets of Elemental Evil
coffee grindage.
Yeah.
You guys getting the coffee grindage?
Were
That's canon.
Recruiting. But the big thing, they saved a small town called Red Larch.
Yep.
They went into the ruins of Tyar Basil, which was this dwarven city, and then something beneath that, the Fane of the Eye. The characters fought a number of dungeons throughout there. They were able to get one of the elemental weapons, the legendary, and they ended up calling Nithbis's help when Adara didn't want to give it up, kind of Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah, Windvane, right? Is that the one?
That was the one.
Yeah.
So Nithbis suddenly became aware of the full situation, and when they did not make it out of one of the dungeons at all, that's when the kind of original high-level heroes decided to step in.
Right. So we kind of use that just as an opportunity to revisit our OG characters, those same characters we've been talking about, Ennis, Nithbis, Kothai. Really, those three kind of came back, along with young Wayland, who had everything all right up there, who had just returned from Barovia. We're gonna keep rolling. You guys get this raw.
This is it.
Monday Night Raw. And so the four of them descended into the Fane, having Nithbis realizing how important it was, and they got there, and I'll just say, knowing that Waterdeep was right around the corner, we had like 3 sessions, I think, until Waterdeep was in our hands. I knew I wanted to wrap it up relatively quickly to at least kind of finish off the story. I'll let you run that to the end there.
So Steven had a genius idea. So 1, to save time, and 2, The OGs are those characters going through each of those dungeons. Those dungeons are very elaborate, so anybody who wants to do a lot of complex dungeons, that's the one for you.
There's some really cool ideas in there.
They're
so,
dope.
Yeah, and we didn't spoil much of it.
Yep, we missed a lot of it. So as the heroes descended, they come across the remaining prophets and think this ritual's about to start. To the prophet's surprise, something goes wrong. And instead, Tiamat manages to tear through and interrupt their ritual to come back. This time, far stronger than last time. The heroes take a beating. They give as much as they get to Tiamat, realizing that it is...
They're not going to win.
...is dire.
Maybe. I think they had it still, but anyways.
If I had it.
No, y'all were good.
Waylon decides to call on the help of a legendary wizard who appears, is frightened, and manages to use a high-level disintegration spell to push back Tiamat again. So the elemental cults essentially were dealt with and undone, frankly, more by Tiamat.
Right.
And Tiamat was pushed back again. But as of now, the original heroes are kind of scattered. Nithbis is spending all of her resources trying to figure out how to stop Tiamat.
Right, very focused on that, kind of almost singularly.
Ennis is still helping, still being the matron of the church and, lending any support she can to those who've been wounded. Wayland, through the Mac Marches, is setting up a castle now.
Yep.
Kothai is wandering as he always does and making sure that the Skyreach is completed. The rebuilt Skyreach.
I think that kind of wraps up the Mac lore in the briefest terms that we can give it. So, a quick high-level timeline, right?
Yep.
Tyranny of Dragons in Mac lore was 3 years ago, from where we're at right now. We're recording this video as of we just recorded Waterdeep Dragon Heist Episode 7. That's the current state of the art, if you will. That's the current timeline. So, minus 3 years is the start of the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, and that lasted about 6 months of game time, given all the travel and the caravan time. About 6 months, maybe a little shorter, but we'll call it 6 months. After that, about a year and a half passed until Princes of the Apocalypse, and Strahd took place sort of in a little window. There was one little crossover. I think in Prince of the Apocalypse, in Strahd, you guys saw the tree and got a glimpse of the heroes from Prince of the Apocalypse because it was looking into different realms.
That's right.
Strahd's worth watching if you guys want. I think it was pretty awesome. They're all worth watching if you got time. So then Princes lasted maybe 2 months in game time, something like that. And then we kind of jumped ahead to more or less where we're at right now with Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So about 3 years after that war, which, again, kind of devastated the Sword Coast in our world. As we kind of were thinking about it, it's not really spoken so much in the book, but the Metallic Dragons say we want half of that hoard, and that hoard represented a massive amount of theft.
The entire fortune of the Sword Coast.
Right.
So...
Yeah, so we decided, hey, that would be hard to recover from. So they're getting there now, but that's informed a lot of the situation on the Sword Coast and has left a little bit of a power vacuum for someone willing to unite people.
Correct. Charismatic leader.
With the powers of the dark gods of a dark pantheon that's been long forgotten.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. I think that's it. We got anything else we want to add? Anything else that's worth noting?
We'll do another video if
cool.
we think we need to add more.
All right, this was fun. I hope this was helpful. Hope this provided some context for you guys. It's been fun to kind of revisit it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks, y'all. Yeah.
It's Mac Lore 1997, y'all. Actual effects.
Yeah,
that's just placeholder footage for the actual effects, which are definitely coming.
Absolutely. By the time we watch this,
probably soon.
We'll be on. So
yeah, we're good to go.
No worries.
Hey, today we're talking about
house rules.
Yes.
Castle Mac house rules. Some of you have asked, and other people seem to have questions that some of these might actually be able to help with. They've definitely helped us since we implemented them.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? We've got a couple that we'll cover, but not many. We tend to be pretty thoughtful about our house rules. We don't, I think we respect rules as written. We want to play the game close to the way it's intended. Yeah. I know that, right, the paradigm is, hey, it's your game. Do whatever you want at your table. And I respect and love that, and I think we do. But also, you can have some unforeseen consequences when you start monkeying with the rules.
Typically, when we change something to benefit, there is a limit to it.
Right,
so it's almost a limited amount. And I think the two things we'll talk about first are potions and short rests.
Yeah. Why don't you take it away? Which one do you want to start with?
Short rest, because that's probably maybe the largest change.
Yeah.
So short rest are, with us, about 3 to 5 minutes. It's enough time to catch your breath, to bandage yourself.
Hey everyone, we're back. The answer to that trivia question was in fact a swamp bonk. So swamp bonk. To revisit, the first question was, who was the NPC who painted blue boat on the side of the poet's pin? It was Torville, the lovable, drunk yet capable sailor. The second question was, what did Enid take from Zoblob's shop? And it was a small statuette that looked just like her. And the last question was, of course, the swamp bonk.
Who were the winners? Just out of curiosity. I remember the first one.
Great, thanks for putting me on the spot. Rad Bully was the third winner. Just won the swamp bonk. I'm gonna have to look back to remember.
You won the swamp bonk.
That's cool.
Yeah, Rad Bully won the swamp bonk.
You always want to be the winner of a swamp bonk.
That's always, the other ones are too far back in the chat for me to remember.
Congrats. Thanks for knowing the trivia.
Yeah, that was fun. I hope you guys dug it. We will do more of these in the coming episodes. We have, 7 more stickers to give out? So brush up on
you should ask Coach how many we have left.
we discovered that Coach has a 1 in math. 5 and 5 and 2, that makes 11. Maybe a Triton math. And maybe Tritons have base 4. They only have 4 fingers, right?
I'm using a different base math, y'all.
Yeah.
It's the Triton method.
Yeah. You take away one fin, you add a fin over here on this.
Start counting your ear little things.
Well, you've got your dorsal.
2 dorsals, 3 fin fingers. Okay, so we're going to skip ahead in time. The end of the night, it takes 8 hours to negotiate this treaty. But at the end...
Enid is bored out of her mind.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably doing that thing where we're trying to look awake, but you pass out a little,
I think you guys fall asleep a couple of times. You don't look like the only ones.
I just do my elven reverie, or I'm just like...
Yeah. They have no idea that you're totally asleep.
Or Hydarion.
Hydarion's dead asleep. He's
We learned that Hydarion doesn't have islands.
Oh man, yeah, just dead asleep. Nobody knows because he sleeps with his eyes open. Anyways, at the end of the night, the treaty in fact goes swimmingly in the king's favor. They see the logic. You pointed out the errors of their ways, and that argument leading to many more conversations. They essentially have to own the fact that they are operating in a way that they would not allow within their borders, and so they decide to immediately pull out all mercenary companies, all of the merchants, and instead negotiate a new trade deal. And so they have set a new target deadline of negotiating a new trade deal within the next couple of months.
I may never contribute to a greater thing than a trade deal with Cholt, in all honesty.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
I mean, legitimately, I might be able to stop a threat in Waterdeep, but that's a trade deal, y'all. We are fucking heroes.
You are heroes for having successfully aided King Raimi in negotiating a trade deal that is very much in favor of his kingdom. As you all walk out, he is beaming, smiling huge, and he's like, just a moment, and you get outside, he's just like, oh. He's doing the equivalent of high-fiving you. He grabs you by the shoulders and shakes you, and he's just kind of punching at the air, just thank you all so much. I can't even believe that we got this. The people are going to be so happy and so thrilled. I thank you so much. I accomplished more than I intended to accomplish here. And then he kind of reins it in and as I promised, I will certainly compensate all of you more than fairly, for this would not have been possible without you. Truly, I thank you. I could have been dead at the bottom of that harbor, or I could have been assassinated in the streets where I by myself. You all not only saved my life, you may have saved my people. For that, I will be eternally grateful.
Not so fast. Before before we get to finalizing that, I think there's one thing that you may have forgotten we need. A group hug.
Is this a custom? Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna slide in between Hydarion and the king, though.
You're like, yeah, absolutely. Just get over here. Yeah, you guys do a big
I'll
group
pull
hug.
in Mordecai. I'll make and Mordecai.
Yeah, Mordecai's like, oh, no.
Well, doesn't that feel
On the other side of
better?
Hydarion, not between me and him.
Thank you all once again. I could not be more happy with the outcome of this. Would you all escort me to my boat, as we must get underway this evening?
Of course.
Pardon me. I guess I gotta mute. I don't even know if it helps. Whatever.
I mean, yeah, I think Whistler's.
Anyways,
I think Whistler's legitimately beaming. I mean, I think he feels good. Like, I think that's twofold. One, it's what he's good at. Two, I actually think having it an above board, fairly altruistic, like, egalitarian setup. Like, there wasn't any subterfuge either, really. I mean,
Right.
So yeah, I actually think he feels pretty accomplished.
Cool. I love it. And I think the rest of you ride back towards the port in this wagon, and he is like, I will certainly miss you, my friends. I hope all of you will come and visit me. You will always be recognized as guests of honor in my halls, and I would love to give you a tour of my beautiful country.
I would love to come.
I as well.
Good.
That's what
It warms my heart to hear that.
Can it be soon? Can I come soon? What day?
I would have... Yes, just let me know.
Well, right.
Well, King, I hope if the gods should ever fail you, or the governments of man, I hope you take comfort in knowing that there's at least one devil on your side.
Thank you. That means much to me, my friend. Whistler, my friend. Bast. It pains me to have to say farewell.
I give him a huge hug.
You all arrive at the port. It's busy and bustling, and you can see that there's the couple of sailors waiting on his small ship. And he says, before I leave, please come aboard with me momentarily. Come into my hold. I've got a parting gift for all of you.
It's gonna kill us all.
End the campaign. Y'all dead.
Storm King's Thunder, here we go.
You all climb aboard. The sailors all just kind of nod at you. Mordecai comes as well. And he says, as you can probably imagine, I travel light. There is no reason for me to keep much gold or treasure within my hold, but I do keep some small trinkets in order to show favor, as I would like to do in this case. First and foremost, and he pulls out a small chest, sets it down. You can hear the gold inside rattling. That is for you. Use it to get your tavern operational. With my blessing. Save a room for me should I come visit. It's where I would most like to stay. And we will avoid the nightclubs. We will instead drink with friends.
And eat, apparently.
Wonderful. Yes.
Indeed. Finally, a small gift for each of you. And he opens up this wooden box. And in it you see 5 tiger claws. And he says, Hydarion, may this serve you well. And it is a small trinket. You don't even have to attune to it. While you are wearing it on a necklace or other piece of jewelry, you can reroll 1 attack roll per short rest.
Hell yeah.
oh man.
He hands another one to you. They've got these strange runes inscribed on them. He says, for my silver-tongued friend. Hands it to you as well. Yours is similar. While wearing it, you can do 1 thing per short rest, and you can reroll either a deception or a persuasion roll.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Your Majesty.
You're very welcome. I hope you use it to good effect. Pulls out the other one. For the dancer. Though skilled you already are, you may find this of little use. Hands 1 to you. Yours allows you to reroll 1 acrobatics or performance roll per short rest. And Nami, the captain of the sea, the captain of the shadows, for you. Also, we'll let you reroll either stealth or sleight of hand once per short rest. They don't require attunement, so they're just kind of permanent.
That's awesome.
I know these are but small trinkets, and if you visit me, I promise I will lavish you in better. It would be my honor to do so. Well, I believe it is nearing sundown. That is when our ship will put to sea. It has been lovely.
Aye, it has.
And he kind of looks at you all, he's like, and he bows quite deeply to you all.
Return the bow.
Yeah, I would match it.
Strong tides and fair winds to you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, my friend.
Probably my eyes would be a little misty.
But goodbyes are such ugly things. Let's make this a, what do Waterdavians say? See you all later. Visit me soon, won't you?
I hope so. my king.
Absolutely. We'll see you around.
He smiles and pulls his cloak on a little bit as he heads up and walks towards the prow and kind of stops by the gangplank as you all leave and bows to you all one more time.
We'll bow and exit.
May Valvaros bless your journey.
Thank you. Mordecai stays, and he's like, yes, thank you all for the assistance. Truly marvelous, truly spectacular. And my lord, as I was saying, we're going to have to bring, he like immediately gets to business, and the king is clearly just kind of ignoring him, watching you all get on the docks.
Hydarian's carrying the chest.
Yeah, it's heavy. 2,000 gold pieces in that chest.
What?
We need to work for royalty more often, friends.
Well, you are working with royalty, if that's any
Either way,
consolation.
my friend.
Who gave us this tip again about the king?
That would be trust. Well,
Her.
I don't know that for sure, but I also do. The Harpers were there. And Rainier was the one who said vouched for us. Or no, I made that up, didn't I? I'm confusing two things.
Rainier vouched for you to Mert.
To
From the
Mert.
Harpers. Mert specifically gave you this job.
So
this
was
think.
the same.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then, but then Trust was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I suddenly thought
But
I was
you're here with the king?
confusing
Strange.
the
No,
Harper.
You got it.
gift.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we could talk about that out of character. What you guys as players would know by now, that there seems to have been some strings pulled here. That Trust had some hand in it. You don't know what. Certainly the Harpers were the deliverers of the message, but Trust almost seemed like her real goal was to get Whistler to the Castellanter household. Whether what the characters know of that, I don't know, but you as the players can certainly know that kind of behind the scenes of what's happened.
Trust works for the Castellantas, or whichever way the wind blows, I suppose.
Well, mostly I was just thinking that we could take just a little bit of this and give it as a token of thank you to Rainier was the one that sent us on the mission, that gave us the little tasks.
That was Mert.
That was Mert.
Mert,
Yep.
maybe give this as a small thank you to Mert, and hopefully he could keep us in his mind when he had another task come along.
Harpers only want information. Gold means nothing to them. We've accomplished our tasks. We're worthy. I would rather put this with Avi and Embrick a little bit, but also, to be honest with you, I think setting up our own tavern and a place to live that is not renting, we could then shower other people in the gifts of our profits.
That's true. Though we could give a little to Avi and Embrick just for hosting on the spot.
Of course. Whatever we don't need, which we need most of it.
Yeah, I think you needed 1,500 left at this point, so. Yep. Cool. Where to, gang? Ball's in your court now. Congratulations, you beat my treaty negotiation puzzle.
I'm all about it. That's very cool. It's a very different kind of adventure. So again,
that was fun. That was by the
Kelsey.
Arcane Library. Our friend Kelsey Dion. It's available in the Adventure Mixtape, which has 3 other adventures in it as well. It was a fun one. It fits right into Waterdeep Dragon Heist for anyone watching.
I'm really gonna miss the king.
Yeah, he was
I really
cool.
liked him.
Well, now we got an NPC in Cholt.
That's right.
Oh my god, I can't wait to go visit Chol.
Go visit King Raimi and Cholt. Let's do it. Why not?
We could go to Blue Boat. Go ahead and spend the rest of the money we need to fix it up.
Might as well. No. Brickbelly Brew would be leaving. It's about sundown.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's late evening. or late afternoon.
I think that we had enough time to make it there.
I forgot to say one thing, by the way. I completely blanked on this.
all dead.
Raimi would have given you the cart. And I think his reasoning was like, I can't come home in a cart that was clearly attacked. My people will be angry. They will want revenge on it. So he gave you the burned out ass cart and the mangy ass horse.
Nice.
I completely blanked on that. I'm so
it.
sorry.
Like, we do have a cart, though.
Yes.
And a horse.
You guys now have a cart to get around.
We could at least go let her know that we've gotten the rest of the money and let her know to expense out whatever she needs.
Well, being that I totally forgot that we had this cart and horse, we should make it there in no time.
We also have a competent driver. The captain seems to know her way around very easily.
Indeed, you do.
Just work well under pressure. Had precious cargo.
Oh, she is the most precious of cargo.
Did you hear that? He said she's the most precious. Don't forget that. I'm your best friend.
And without further ado, you all arrive at the Blue Boat, still in complete shambles, and you find Brickbelly standing on the porch, and she is shouting at a contractor who looks like a carpenter. There's a hand cart next to it with some wood kind of piled up and some tools kind of in a leather bag on the side. Just a half-elf woman who's kind of standing there. She's like, I came in, the floors are a disaster. And she's like, aye, but if you're worth your salt, you'd be able to rip them right up and put the new ones in. I've done it myself, and I will if I have to. Woman's like, no, you don't understand. Those floors are 300 years old. You can't just treat them like that. And she's like, feck with ya. I'll deal with it myself. Bring me someone a bit more competent. She's like, it's my co-owners. They're gonna really tear into you. And she's like, whatever. Like, the carpenter just clearly is like, leans up against her cart a little bit, kind of watching. Brickbelly comes down, rubbing her hands. What can I do you for? Who's that king? What have we got here?
The remainder.
Did you pilfer that off the king?
We were paid, honestly.
I am but a simple tavern keeper. And I have a major question. How in the feck did the 4 of you wind up at the beck and call of a king? And more importantly, how'd you wind up lifting all that gold off him? Because maybe you're in the wrong business.
It seems, Master Brickbelly, that when you're in the right place at the right time, and you stop a couple of arrows, people seem to be a little bit grateful for you.
Well, you must be about the luckiest people I've ever heard of.
There's a bit of skill involved with it, too, but yes.
No
bit of
doubt.
luck.
No doubt.
Fortunate for you to be working with us then.
And fortunate for us to have you.
Just fortunes all around. And if you'd like, I can take that. I can get it invested in this place and have it open lickety-split.
That would be
We'll take out.
just.
I think,
Beyond what we don't need.
yeah.
Yeah.
How much do you take? 100 each?
Yeah.
Cool.
How much did we get from King?
2,000.
And what did Brickbelly need?
1,500 at this point.
So we'll leave 1,600 with her to
Okay.
maybe grease the wheels with that extra 100 gold.
She's looking at it like, well, that's excellent. That's excellent. All right, miss, come back up here. Show me these floors. She looks at you guys. She's like, she's fine. I'm just working my magic. They kind of go back inside and disappear.
Well, that does bring us to our next bit of business. We'll need to stay in Yawning Portal again tonight, and we'll pay so that they know we're good for it. We need to find Merdia.
The Scarlet Demon Sisterhood. Otherwise, all our investments in the Blue Boat are for naught because we have a poltergeist in a terrible way.
And Merdia can't possibly know that these two idiots have lied to her. These little murderers.
We need to get her by herself if we could.
Yes.
We'll have to work on a scheme for that.
You know, typically, I'm right there with you on charming and manipulating our way in. But look at us. We're fearsome. We should just bully our way in there. I don't care what they have to say. Hyderion's the size of... Well... What was I saying? We're skilled at swordplay. You can light something on fire. Not one of them, at first.
I'm not supposed to do that. I signed the papers.
That's true. They are little murderers, though.
Yeah.
I'll look for a minute.
They did not sign the papers. Not like me.
So we go back, we rest up, we drink, we eat, and tomorrow we go find this Scarlet Demon Sisterhood. That's a stupid name, too.
Stupid name.
I do think you've got plenty of time tonight, and you're close. It was in that Bowyer Fletcher shop.
I would, but we slept last
You
night.
slept?
So actually,
Yeah,
I got everything.
Yeah, you're all good.
Fresh, by the way.
You're all good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're free to delay if you want.
No. Okay. Never mind. We should go right now.
We should sleep here tonight.
But why delay, Whistler? We can take care of it now.
Hey, just for future knowledge, in Charles Gold, is it furnished? Like, is there
Not
furniture?
really.
No, okay.
You have to buy some.
But, like,
That's not being taken care of with
That's included in the money, at least for the downstairs. Your private rooms, maybe not.
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
We'll have to share one room.
I want to
get...
start setting up my savings account for my furniture.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to fast forward us just because it's getting a little late. You guys head towards the Bowyer Fletcher shop?
Yes, we do.
All right, so we'll get there. It's a pretty run-down strip of area here in Waterdeep. The buildings are unloved, a little bit shabby. You see some drunks. Someone kind of passes by, like, hey, watch where you're going. You come nowhere near him. Looks like some shady deals going down. People kind of in alleys whispering to each other. They're kind of talking. They'll look up at you. At one point, someone's like... walks away. This looks like a strange kind of place. And you see this run-down shop. You can't even read the name anymore, but you do see a crude drawing of a bow and an arrow, and then a quiver kind of setting beside it. But it's not rusted over, but it's just there's grime over it. There's that mildew that grows on wood when it gets unexposed, or when it's exposed. And the windows are kind of darkened with dust and grime. It doesn't seem like there's anybody there as you approach.
Should I knock on the door?
Yes, let's knock on the door.
We could just pick the lock.
True enough.
Well, let's not.
I've already got my lock picking tools out.
I'd be like, but we don't want to scare Merdia.
Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Takes a couple seconds, but you do now see a light, and through the grime you can see a kind of door open in what looks like used to be the front room of a shop, and you see a figure holding a lantern that's hanging on a chain kind of come to the door, and as she approaches you can see that she's a young woman, and she kind of gets to the door. Who's there?
Do we know what Merida looks like?
What was the
She's an elf.
poltergeist's name?
I would know what the other two looked like.
That's true, you do.
So I could
Yeah.
deduce,
Yeah.
potentially.
In fact, you look through the grime and you can see that it's Sanguine.
Allies.
Is the name you know.
I'll be like,
Allies? Who is this?
is that Sanguine?
It is? Who are you?
I'll be like, I'm Whistler. Like, I've come to relay a story to you.
I don't have time for stories. I'm busy right now.
Like, you'll want to hear this one.
Oh my god. Phoenix. Yeah, like a voice you can't really make out, muffled. Another figure kind of comes in. See now these two feminine figures. She reaches forward and opens it. You can see in the lantern light these two women. You can see that they have chalk on their hands. Like you just notice there's white chalk powder. And she's like, he says he wants to tell us a story. And Phoenix is like, what does that mean?
I'm like, a simple story from where I grew up. I'm a bard, you see.
She looks at everyone else.
I'm like, rare that you'd have this entertainment in this area, I would expect.
They kind of look at each other, and one of them kind of rolls their eyes. It's like, did Meridia put you up to this? Meridia! Stupid Meridia. We're not interested in entertainment.
Is that Meridia in there?
It's like, yeah.
Good. I'm pushing through the door.
You push through, she's like, whoa! It's like, I already said you're not welcome here. Turn around and leave. All of you, turn around and leave.
I'll be like, we're speaking to Meridia, and you two dilettante little sycophants can sit down.
She's just like, what did
And
you
I'm
say
just
to
like
me?
bulking up.
She's like, what did you say to me? You don't know who you're messing with.
I'll be like, sit down. I'm going to ask you a question in another minute, and it's simple. Do you want to live?
Oh my god, that's so awesome. Roll me intimidation with advantage, certainly.
Okay.
Sycophant.
Can I assist?
Yeah, I'm giving him advantage because everyone's standing there.
Let me just tell you what it is totally. That's a 23.
All right. She's like, She's like, yeah. Puts the lantern down. They sit in these two like broken ass wooden chairs. Let's just show you what the building looks like.
Just for fun.
Just to have. I need to cover something up though. Hold on.
Everyone shut your eyes.
Everybody
close our
spin-
eyes,
Yeah,
man.
everybody shut your eyes for just a second.
Turning around.
Yeah, turn it around.
Sorry, I should have had this pre
I'll
set
just
up.
take my glasses off. I can't
Yeah.
see shit. Now and then, Steven puts on my
Okay, hold on.
Syllables didn't work.
I accidentally opened my eyes.
It's okay, it's okay. It's not much to see. Sean, if you'd like, go ahead and put on the old battle cam there.
Oh.
Battle
Are we allowed to look now?
Sorry, I mean get the battle cam ready. Here we go. Little bit off kilter there, but hey,
Can I
it
put my
worked.
glasses back on?
Yeah, you're good now.
I don't need to close my eyes.
I really don't.
I gotta move that cookie remnant.
You don't need to, strictly speaking, but why don't everyone put their characters right here at these double doors?
I don't have a character.
Oh, yes, you do, my dear.
Yes, no doubt.
I painted it for you.
Get it?
I really need a new.
You can pull it way forward, I think.
You want to go way forward?
Yeah, let's get those characters in
Wait,
there.
why is Driessa there?
What?
That's not
she's-
Driessa, is it?
Yeah.
The ghost of Driessa.
Ghost of
R.I.P.
Driessa's past.
R.I.P.D. in peace, Driessa. Okay. So, Whistler, you push the door open, and with hellish fury, they are intimidated. They kind of back up and sit down, and you can see them looking at each other, and they're clearly smoldering, but also intimidated. A second later, that door opens, and Myrdia comes through, and she looks sad. Like, she just is kind of like, what was the commotion up here, sisters? And they were like, did you do this, Myrdia? Did you put him up to this? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Sanguine. I didn't do anything.
I would walk forward and just, with an emotion I don't fully understand, I wouldn't go too close.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, it pains me to see you so sad, but I'm glad that you look fed and well.
She's like, I don't know who you are. What are you talking about? Sanguine Phoenix, I swear I didn't do this. And they stand back up and they're like, probably time that you all leave.
I'd be like,
I mean it.
I will look at them with rage and I'll be like, sit back down.
She's like, no, it's not going to work like that. And she snaps her fingers and you see a little flame appear in her hand. And she's like, I will kill you if you don't leave right now. You're messing with the Sisters of the Scarlet Demon.
I would fucking laugh.
Here, Whistler, you're about here. Everyone else, I think you've kind of filtered in at this point.
I'd be like, Enid, my dear, would you do me the utmost favor and light that on fire? I mean, a random piece of furniture.
Yeah.
She's like, if you do, I will retaliate. I think it's time for initiative, everybody. Woo! Oh boy, I'm gonna roll separately for them. I'm just gonna be lieutenant and boss. This is more fun. Sanguine is lieutenant. Phoenix is boss. Okay, well they both rolled pretty bad.
Me too.
Same.
Okay, Nami.
11.
Good. Enid.
6.
Wow.
Thanks.
Okay. Whistler
18.
and Hydarion.
11.
Which one of you has better decks? Nami,
I always
presume,
follow
right?
the captain.
Perfect.
You guys always roll the same.
Whistler, in a blink of an eye, you can see they are both raising their hands, clearly about to cast spells. You can see that poor sweet Myrdia is kind of like pushed back up against the wall. You see Enid raising her hand to cast a spell, but you have the clarity of the moment and a strange paternal feeling that lets you act first.
I will try to position it in the best way I can, and I'll be like, enough, sleep.
Okay, you do know they are half-elves.
Oh, they're half-elf?
I think wasn't one a half-elf?
One was a half elf.
Oh, might be. I was
let
thinking
me-
they were both human.
Yeah, I thought they were.
You know what? Actually, I think you're probably right.
I think you're wrong.
I think you're right. It was only Myrdia who was the elf. Let me just look real quick in the in our thingamajiggy. Phoenix, human female. Sanguine, elf female. So Phoenix is a human.
Okay,
Sanguine
so one's an elf.
is an elf. So you would almost certainly put her to sleep.
Okay, and the other
Or
one
might. I don't know.
and the other one, elves have advantage, but they're
No,
not.
they can't.
Nah,
They
elves
can't
cannot be put to sleep.
All right, then I'd probably do. Which one had the fire in their hand?
That was Phoenix,
It
Phoenix.
was a human.
who is the human.
Okay, I'll switch that up then. No. I'll keep it. That's
Okay.
what I said. I'll
right.
just do it.
Yeah, no problem. Roll it.
All right.
The nice thing is it will only affect Sanguine.
Okay.
Level 1.
You mean Phoenix?
Yeah.
Phoenix.
5d8.
Yes. Will only affect Phoenix. So many NPCs.
Okay. That's 10, 15, 23.
You cast it, and her eyes get heavy for a second, and the other one's like, stop it! And she snaps back up. Seems to have more hit points than 23. Nami, it's your turn. You clearly see Whistler kind of bring his hand like this, and you see some dust, and she gets sleepy, and then waves it off.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, go ahead, Whistler.
And then with my bonus action.
Yep, hit it.
I'll be like, Hydarion, get on the clock. And you have Bardic Inspiration.
Nice.
Which one did he try to sleep? That one or that one?
Yeah, well, just for ease, we'll say Phoenix is the one with fire in her hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have my
Sanguine
glasses on.
Is the one, is Driessa.
And Sanguine was the elf.
Yes,
Okay.
Sanguine is the elf. So the
Sorry,
blue,
one more question.
Driessa is the elf.
And is Sanguine holding an arcane focus? Does she seem to have an arcane focus for her magic?
Not that you saw, not that you see.
Another question. When spellcasters cast spells, they have like an arcane focus, whatever, and some spells require
Verbal, somatic, or material.
Somatic is like hand movements,
Yep,
right? And a
yep.
lot of spells require somatic, right?
Yeah.
A lot do, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wondering, okay, so I'm going to slip over here and attack with my rapier, and I get my sneak attack.
Oh, because you're swashbuckler now, right? Mm-hmm. I think you do, yeah, because no one else
No
is
one else is
adjacent to
within
you.
5 feet
Yeah,
of me.
you totally do get your sneak attack. So run up and toss a little whackage.
12 plus 14.
That
12 plus
is
4.
a definite hit on Sanguine.
14.
That is a hit on Sanguine.
1d8, and it's plus 2d6.
2d6 now at level 3, yeah.
And I'm specifically trying to cut off her hand.
Ooh, tasty.
That's like out, ready to cast a spell.
We'll see. Rapier's a little not so cutty. 5 and Dex, 8 damage.
Yeah. No, wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
Oh, is your Dex only a plus 2?
I have a plus 2.
Yep,
Yeah.
7. I mean, you go for it, but she kind of pulls back as it slices up her arm a little bit. She's like, ah! Hydarian, it is your turn.
And I get to bonus action.
You sure as heck do. And no attacks of opportunity, you're right. Hydarian, you are up. Swashbucklers, man. Broke AF.
I think Hydarian will kind of, inspired almost by Whistler, he will move to stand almost between the spellcasters and Meridia and Whistler.
Cool.
And bonus action, I will use Slayer's Prey, and I will cast it on this one.
Mark Sanguine.
Yeah, Mark Sanguine. And we are going to make an attack on her.
Do it, my dude.
Looking to incapacitate, not kill.
Not kill. Got it.
We're going to use that Tiger Claw to reroll that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tight.
You feel it warm against your skin.
So let's see. That is a 16.
That is a hit, my dude.
All right. And then 5, 8, plus 4, so 12 damage.
Okay. You get her pretty good. I mean, you come at with the old trident, but you swing around and kind of attack with the butt end of it. It hits her, and she just kind of turns back to you, and her eyes flash a little bit. With that, I believe I said the lieutenant was Sanguine, and the boss is Phoenix. So Sanguine, standing there right in front of you, looks at you, and she's like, "Oh, are you that lap dog? I need you to make me a wisdom save, please."
Oh, man. That's not good.
20.
Oh, man. For a moment, you feel your mind clouded, and then you kind of shake your head, and you're done with it. And she then whispers something into the air that sounds a little bit like Sylvan, strangely enough. And she's like, "Aid me, mother." And she flashes, and seems to Misty Step to right there.
Cool. What is this right here?
That's a counter. So it's about waist high.
Gotcha. I
Basically,
thought
it would only be difficult ground to get through.
I thought it was a wall.
No. Sorry. It's just like, it's the counter where they used to.
Yeah, just sell.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it is now Phoenix's turn. I'm just going to combine them because there's no reason to have them separate now since they both rolled right there. She, in fact, casts a spell, and I need all 4 of you, in fact, to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
10.
We're going to 22.
I got 18.
I'm gonna re-roll. Pass.
Oh. All right. 8.
Who got above a 15? You see she sticks her hand out, and these glowing, almost sand, almost dust in the air comes and it settles all over Hydarian. The rest of you sort of flail your arms enough to cause a vortex, and the sort of glowing little bits of sand don't really stick to you. But you have been fairy fired. Your armor is just sort of glowing, and with that she backs up and she says, "Kill them, Meridia!" Enid, it's your turn.
It's wonderful. They've really gotten to a good position. If they could please make me Constitution saves.
Constitution saves each. Okay. This should be fine. Yeah. They're really good at those. As they lay, Sanguine, Phoenix, both fail.
Tight. They just got hit with the shatter.
Tight.
It's my first time casting a shatter.
Hell yeah.
How'd I do?
You did well. Pretty tight.
So that's
12
7,
damage
yes.
on each.
That's right.
Sanguine is like, first of all, it's Enid channels it, and all of your ears are just now from this. The wood of the counter splinters and kind of explodes out. These wood shards fly everywhere. Sanguine is thrown up against the wall. Phoenix similarly. They both sort of lean forward, looking slightly rough. Lydia, can I have you please roll me a d20?
Yeah.
As you channel wild magic. In fact, roll 2.
Okay.
And as you cast the spell, the compass in your pocket feels hot, almost searing. Okay. You feel a strange sensation come over you, but quickly passes. But the compass in your pocket is just searing right now.
What happened? What do I have to roll again? A 20?
A
Or
1. I think it's a 1, or is it a 20? That's one or the other. You can look it
I'll
up.
look it
Whistler, it's your turn, my dude.
Okay, I'll be like, Meridia, sweetheart, take cover.
Oh, it is Meridia's turn, and on her turn, you can see her hesitate. She's like, I don't... Sisters, I... And so she panics, and then
Gotcha.
you tell her that command.
Okay.
Our boy Jeff says it's a 1. Thanks,
It is
Jeff.
a 1. Yeah, I looked up things.
Finger guns.
I did it too.
Where were your finger guns, guys?
Sorry, man.
All right, go ahead.
Left him with the bouncer at the door.
Yeah. No
I was just
weapons,
picking
no
my
finger
nose over
guns.
here.
Yeah.
All right, on Phoenix, I would like her to make a wisdom save, please.
Can do. Pass.
I'd like you to re-roll that.
Yeah, we'd like that.
Fail.
All right, I'll take out a piece of metal and ding, and she's held.
Nasty, nasty. Hold person on Phoenix is a nasty one.
Oh, and then with my bonus action, I will to Nami be like, take them alive if you can, Nami.
Don't forget that you have a bardic inspiration.
yeah, you have a
And
bardic
now have
inspiration.
Speaking of which, it is Nami's turn.
Bardic Inspo, add 1d6 to any attack roll?
Or ability check.
Any ability check?
Anything that you'd roll a d20
Yeah,
for.
basically anything you roll a d20 for. Save, attack, whatever.
I am going to beep, beep, boop, boop, beep.
You got advantage because she held.
I have advantage.
Yep.
Yeah.
She is held and really just not in a great way, to be honest with you.
11 plus 4.
Not only is
Plus
that a
56?
hit,
Okay.
it's an auto crit because she's held and incapacitated. She gets to reroll upon taking damage, right? Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Pretty sure.
No, it's just at the end of their turns.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah. 15.
Okay. Her eyes are tracking as you approach her, and you're trying to take her alive at this point. So you clock her right on the face with the cover guard of the rapier. Just smack her, and her face doesn't really move except by your force. And you can see her just like breathing kind of heavy. Hi, Darion.
As a bonus action, he's going to cast Zephyr Strike on himself.
Okay.
And so my movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Cool.
Once before the spell ends, I may give myself advantage on an attack, and it deals an additional D8.
Tight.
And my walk speed is increased by 30 feet till the end of the turn. So we're gonna Zephyr Strike right on over here.
Can do.
And we are going, that also stacks with my Slayer's Prey. from
Sure
last
does.
turn.
It sure indeed does.
So, roll it out, see what happens. That's
a hit.
Yep. Hold on, gotta assemble all my dice here that I've added. That's 8, 2, so 14 damage.
Okay. You rush at her, again, trying to keep her alive, kind of just bash her with the back end of your trident. It takes her right in the stomach, and she kind of grabs the counter on the side. You can hear her wheezing as the breath has left her, but she is still standing.
And then I will, because I don't provoke opportunity attacks and have the extra movement, again, retreat back to kind of brace myself.
She's just like, leave this place! And as she says leave this place, her voice has like that octave below it, raises her hand, and you see this purple light appear. She holds it out towards you, Hydarian, and these 3 purple streaks fly at you. What's your armor class, my dude?
17.
Okay. 2 of the bolts strike you. Oh, she gets advantage because you are fairy fired. So here's for the miss, and here's for the other 2 hits, just to see if any of those are crits. They are not crits, but that was a miss. Still,
Still a miss.
You will take 20 points of damage as these 2 bolts just dig into you.
Holy.
The other one is going to attempt to escape the hold person. I think I also need to make concentration saves for that fairy fire. Now that
I'll have you re-roll that.
Okay. She does not escape the hold person. Stupid DM inspirations. Here's the concentration check. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Back to you, Enid. Bottom of the turn. Your pocket is just like, I mean, it's like almost distracting. You're like, oh my god, what is that?
Do they look like really, really bad?
Yeah, they're looking rough.
I'm going to take the dodge. I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
And I don't have a...
Yeah,
Can't,
sure.
like,
Makes sense to me.
Punch him.
Yeah,
I'm
makes
not
sense.
going to run up with my dagger and be like, whoa.
Yeah, you dodge, no problem. And Myrdia on her turn is just like, I don't know what to do. She's
In fact,
like,
I would go actually over to Myrdia and
Okay.
and try to like, just like be like, hey, we're not here to hurt you. Like,
okay, go ahead and roll me persuasion with disadvantage.
yeah, that's cool. Actually, I'm going to use my Tides of Chaos.
Oh,
And
okay.
cancel out your-
Wonderful.
Tight.
So what was I doing?
Persuasion.
So that's a 13.
Okay, yeah, you come over and she's like, she's looking at you and she's like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what you're doing here. And she's kind of sliding along the wall to the ground and you're kind of following her like, it's okay, we're not here to hurt you. Whistler, it's your turn.
Okay. So holding that. I also don't want to. No. How much movement do I have here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, I'm still holding my concentration, but I'll take out my dagger, I think, and try to just
Do it, my dude. You have advantage. She is still held,
yeah,
right?
I totally forgot. Nah, man, I missed on both.
No? Okay. Well, with that, Nami, we're over to you, unless you got anything else in your bonus action, Sean, or want to move anymore?
You know what? Just because I will move back one. I will, to Enid. I'll be like, just be yourself, calm it down, my dear. I'll give you a bardic inspiration, too.
Cool.
Which are all my bardics.
Nami. With advantage. Which means you trigger sneak attack regardless.
9 plus 4.
9 plus 4, you have a bardic inspiration. Would you like to
Still,
throw
even
that
if
in
I
there?
used it?
Oh, did you use it?
No, I did. Oh, yeah.
No. That is a hit.
Thanks.
All right, that's an auto crit because she is incapacitated.
Also, double this.
Double that. Okay, that's 15. 17 plus 9. You walk up to her.
Plus 2.
I already added that. That was the 15 to 17.
Plus 2 on the second one?
Only the first.
Oh, okay.
She's looking at you, clearly like, and you're just like, night night. Pow! Knock her on the face, and she clearly passes out, and then the spell sort of wears off, and she collapses to the ground. Hydarion.
Does Sanguine have any visible reaction to Phoenix getting knocked out?
Oh yeah, she's like kind of panicking, looking at her.
Oh boy. Let me get my ass knocked out again. Alright, we will cast Hunter's Mark on her as a bonus
Oh,
action.
because you don't concentrate on the other thing, do you? No,
Nope,
it's
it's
a
not.
class ability,
Yep.
not a spell. Oh my god, yeah. I like the Monster Hunter.
Let's say.
Monster Hunter's cool. Okay, yeah. You've cast Hunter's Mark.
I now do provoke opportunity attacks because I have to end my concentration on Zephyr's Strike, but
Well, I don't think that's going to matter.
so we're gonna come on over here and we are going to roll our attack on her. Just gonna add that bardic inspiration.
Preemptively spend it.
Yeah.
Last one, right?
Do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
my dice.
Last divine.
What does a 16 do?
That is a hit.
All right, so here we go. All right, so it's 10, 13,
Describe to me how you knock this young lady out.
Oh, I think Darian has gotten used to jumping over this counter by this point, and
Jumped over, then jumped back.
yeah.
Well, I shattered it, so it's like probably crumbled a little.
Yeah,
Just
that's
about
true.
true, yeah.
And
It's just like pieces of wood kind of
Splintered.
splintered up and out of it.
So just swing the end of the trident around,
Swing the end of yourself.
right across the face. Trying to be quick and simple.
She does the spin, the like 360 as she hits the ground. And as she does, and you all are standing there, and Mirdia is looking up at you, Enid, kind of wide-eyed. She's like, what are you doing here? You, more than anyone else who hear it eventually, hear a strange, fey bird song, unaccompanied on the other side of that door. You hear.
I haul ass.
Okay.
No. Yes, I do.
All right. The compass in your pocket burning. Go ahead, you can lift that up. It's not going to matter at this point, but...
Both of them?
Yeah. You can still show that if you want. You come in the back, and you can see it was an archery range. And you can still see there are some of the targets that have been put up. But on the ground, in a semicircle against the back wall, these candles are burning. And in chalk is this elaborate set of 2 trees that almost seem to be forming a gate. Not unlike what you might see on the gates of Moria, but it's much more elaborate. It looks much more like a real tree that's been drawn. And as you hear this song, the trees start turning from chalk to look almost realistic, and you can almost see these colors filling in as the leaves fill. And between the 2 trunks, the stonework of the building starts to get hazy and then gives way to mist. And standing there, as it gives way, is a beautiful woman whose hair looks like it's flowing as if in water. And sitting on her shoulder is a gray bird singing this song. And you almost hear the echo from somewhere else in Waterdeep harmonizing, coming together, pulling this portal open. And this woman looks at you and she's like, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
"I am Mab, Utiana." "What is your name? You look familiar."
I am Enid.
"Enid. It's a pleasure. Where are my girls?" And as she says that, the light of her skin starts to fade, turns into this purple, kind of all around her. "What have you done with them?"
They're just out front.
"Enid! I will remember that." And poof, it's back to stone and chalk work. And with that, we're going to end the session tonight, everybody. Hope y'all had a good time.
It was tight.
Tight.
Who was that bitch?
Mab
Who
Utiana.
is she? Who is she?
Essentially, these girls thought they were working for a demon, but it ain't no demon. It's an archfey. Tricked them.
Tight.
Tricked them a little bit. All right, hope y'all had a good sesh.
I did.
That's such a
That
good
was
time.
dope.
It was good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we went,
man.
went a little later than usual. Figured I'd kind of speed it up there at the end. But in normal Castle Mac fashion, you guys want to talk about your favorite moment? What was your favorite moment, Coach?
Oh, there was a lot of them tonight. I think the nightclub. I think we being able to put the nightclub scene into Sword and Sorcery was done very well by you, and
Thanks.
it was very
It was
enjoyable.
definitely weird.
Yeah, it was enjoyable to kind of experience it, and also kind of the whole side quest of working with King Raimi was very enjoyable.
That was fun. I liked it. How about you, Sean? Favorite moment?
I mean, I think negotiating that treaty. I mean, I also think if I had to go other than me, grabbing that bouncer to stop the third ambush was
I definitely didn't foresee that. That was
genius.
great. That was awesome.
And Enid's perfect dancing with Folo and Hydarion sleeping with his fucking eyes open.
That was awesome. How about you, Lid? Favorite moment?
Getting to spend time with Fala again. And like
Yeah, that was fun. I didn't foresee that coming either. That was cool.
getting them on my side a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of broke the ice for them. That was pretty great. I wanted to have some Fae stuff start coming up, so I thought it worked perfectly. I didn't plan for you guys to see Fala again, but hearing the bird song again was tight because I knew that I was going with that. So, How about you, Raven? Favorite moment?
When Enid was like dancing on a tiger or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. It's pretty late. I don't see anyone really
Encounter
still
Josh
going
was
hard.
on, I think.
Oh, is Encounter Josh on? Okay. I didn't see that.
Maybe I need to refresh.
Well, give me 1 second.
He is.
Freshen up.
Okay. Is it just Encounter Josh?
Encounter Joshua.
Okay. All right. Looks like he is live, so we'll raid there. And we hope to see y'all next Sunday. Unfortunately, our Tuesday game is off. So that sucks. I got to travel for 2 weeks in a row. We'll be off for Tuesdays, which I hate, but I have no choice. So
And congrats to our
I
winners.
just played with Sean before, you know.
yeah, y'all can have fun.
We got secret.
Don't tell me how fun it's going to be. I don't want to know. All right, we're launching the raid. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
guys.
See ya.